Hey, you guys, it is Drunk Monkey 42 here, but today I'm going to be playing some D&D with some friends and family. So today I'm Ryan, the DM. Now, we have been gone for a few weeks, some vacations, and I just didn't have a voice last weekend to play too much. It kind of hurt to talk, so whatever. So we're back. We're going to play another one of our episodes for you guys. So I'll start off introducing the people at the table like I normally do. So starting on my right hand side, I have Riley, who is playing Mal. Next to her, I have Justin, who is playing Thoron. Next to him, I have Zach playing Priqrin, aka Peter.
Hey.
Next to him, I have Jason playing Bahst. Next to him, I have Sarah, who is playing Bernnice. And next to her, I have Ron, who is playing two characters, one of Bart and one of Bertram. And if I refer to them all at once, it's Bartram. So, and again, I'm sitting at the DM side. I am the DM for this game, the DoorSmashers. Real quick, just a kind of a brief rundown of what we did last time. You guys had just left the 10th floor with Jim in hand. And, of course, before you left, one of you kind of got a glimpse of what almost looked like an undead type army starting to come upon your presence. You guys left, landed on the first floor, made your way back to the opening of the yawning portal where you climbed out, flew out, whatever the case may be, but you got out. You had some drinks. Bertram left the group early, but also left a little bit of money to cover some drinks and headed back home. Eventually, you guys all did the same thing, kind of left to head back to the tavern, but you decided instead of going back to the tavern, you wanted to turn in the gym first, which was completely fine. You all noticed after when you left of how the city was pretty much going into war mode. People leaving the city packed with guards or militia, and a lot of businesses looking like they were closed up or whatnot, or running out of supplies as it is. You guys went over to the Hall of Justice, I believe is what it was called. Thoron went and talked to one of his superiors, handed over the gem as they rushed off to turn it over to try to stop any type of war from breaking out. Further escalating where it was already at. From there, you guys moved on to the wrong tavern. Went back to the DoorSmashers tavern / homestead. And discovered it was in shambles, in a way. Found out that Thorn's brew that he was brewing, the tank exploded, possibly causing injury to a certain fellow companion who looks over the tavern. Following the blood trail, you kind of made your way to what seemed like maybe a private medical facility, where you found that Floon, I believe his name was right now bedridden, hasn't woken up or anything for at least a few days. Deciding to come back in the morning, you guys went back, only to find that Bernnice had her own encounter while people were gone of the spiritual kind, or the ghost kind. Having gone through a sort of weird dimensional rift in the wall, find herself stuck on what we could call the upside down world if you really wanted to, but found herself on the other side. Both her brother and Mal and Priqrin happened to notice this. As soon as Bart reached in to try to see about grabbing his sister, and she grabbed his hand, he was yanked through. Mal, hearing what sounded like a dog's bark, went in. But as soon as she went in and Priqrin tried to follow, the rift itself sort of just closed. On the other side, you had Mal, Bart, and Bernnice standing there in a ghostly type area of their own tavern. They met Leaf, who told them that this was a cause of some spiritual being who is trying to open up a bigger rift to allow more of a ghost-like phenomenons to come in. So the three of you went forward and dealt with that pretty nice and easy. Mal almost had a breakdown as her dog disappeared from that world. Only to find when they came back that her dog was there waiting in the actual physical world to pounce and lick all over her face. On the other side, the tavern itself, I think you guys kind of cleaned up a little bit of it before going to bed. Those of you that were asleep, that kind of got woken up, went back to sleep. And the rest of you, after cleaning up a little bit, went to sleep. In the morning, you had some breakfast and noticed that Leaf seemed to be back and doing his normal duties. With a little bit of glitch, it seemed like. As you try to communicate with him, the spelling on the mirrors sometimes are a little misspelled or not fully there, like missing a couple letters or letters backwards or something. Occasionally an elven word instead of a common word. But otherwise he was there and it seemed like he was still doing his job just fine. You guys went and saw Floon. Bernnice kind of healed him up a little bit, which woke him up from his slumber, only to inform that he went down there to fill up the normal barrel stock of dwarven ale that Thorn makes, and something happened. I guess the pressure release valve got stuck is what he said, and when he went to go open it, it blew the whole tank and said, "Bless you."
Hell bless you.
The tank itself blew, and pretty much a pipe or something got stuck into his middle section, and he was able to get his ass out of there. But yet he still doesn't remember making it to the facility of where he was fixed. He doesn't remember getting there. He just knows that he climbed out and he kind of passed out on the street somewhere. And next thing you know, he's awake with you guys standing at his bedside, not knowing how long time has passed. You guys have realized that, though, there are still a few things missing. You got a couple of horses missing from your DoorSmasher area, and somebody else is missing a horse from his homestead. But also that morning, while you guys were having your breakfast, a unknown stranger appeared, causing havoc amongst you guys, threatening to kill you, only to reveal that it was actually Bertram playing a stupid prank on you. Basically, you guys, right now, kind of how you left it, you were kind of going back to the tavern, I believe. I don't think all you guys went to go see Floon, did you?
I thought we were all back at the tavern after Bertram.
That's what I was thinking too. So
we're already all back. Floon's back.
Well, no, Floon went home.
Oh, that's right.
Floon went home. He needed like a couple of days to figure out what the hell happened, because he's got responsibilities too as his house. So, all right, let me go ahead and flip it over to the map. And right now I got you guys sitting at the tavern map. I will try to flip you guys to the city map when you move around. But otherwise, it's either city or the tavern map is basically what we're looking at. So, yes, you guys went back to the tavern to kind of meet up to figure out your days. I did forget to mention Bart was visited by Victor and gave him some express issues he had. So Bart right now is a little on the antsy side, but you guys do have your you have time. to do what you want to do in the city of Waterdeep. So, talk amongst yourselves, discuss what you guys want to do.
So we're all here.
You're all here in the tavern sitting down. There are no customers.
Yeah,
At
we're
all.
kind of closed for renovations.
The sign is turned to close, but you also notice when you're walking on the street, a lot of places are still closed. There's one tavern that's still open, but they don't really compete in the same league as you guys since they offer escorts. So there's a little bit different. Yes, I forgot. Thorn said he was going to start whoring himself out.
I gotta spread the name of home somehow.
Justice for how long?
As they orgasm, he says, "Lord Helm blesses you."
That's his.
Lord
yeah,
Helm
that's
has protection.
that's his. That's his ending. Instead of saying "Lord," he goes, "Lord Helm protects."
Boom goes the death.
Yeah.
It's Lord.
Boom goes the smite.
Don't know why I say it this way. So yes, you guys are back at the tavern. At the tavern, of course, when you guys are arriving at the tavern, whoever didn't go
2d8
might still be there at the tables, drinking, eating, whatever, gossiping, whatever you guys are doing. Because I can't remember how many went. I don't think all of you went.
I thought we all went, but only 2 of us went up to the room.
Only 2 were allowed to go up there.
Yeah.
I think 3 of you went up.
I was up at the very top sleeping.
No,
This was
no,
after.
this is already past in the morning.
Yeah, I think we're all awake now. We're all
yeah.
in the main hall here. We're all.
We'll just start it off. You guys are back at the tavern.
Yeah.
So you guys walk back in. You sit down at the tables. Some more drinks come to you. Whatever drinks you normally have come to you, and
We're still covered in blood. What? Wasn't that the prank that you did?
No, just water.
it was
You guys might be covered.
it was a
in water.
warm liquid.
I don't know about you.
Did you
Wait, you made the dex check?
prestidigitation is?
Yes, she was the only one that made the dex check.
Just remembering how long it took us to be able to say that out loud.
Say what out loud?
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation. Yeah.
So we're back home.
We're back home.
Nice.
And Bertram is also there.
That sounds really good right now.
Finding my horse.
Are you raising the horse too?
Yes.
It's glue.
So much.
They turned it to
Someone
glue.
stole our horses,
Dwarf
Don't
horse.
say that.
and they're gonna pay.
I'm assuming that's Bertram that's talking to her at
Yes.
this time. Okay.
Where's my notes?
That's my.
I got him over here, but audio wise, we don't know which one's talking.
Because Bart doesn't have a horse.
I know you're really good at cleaning things up. Can you help me fix my book that I broke?
Yeah, when I get spare time,
What
I'll
about
take a
those
look.
weapons you were talking about?
What weapons were you talking about?
I have to. Dang.
That's
The
why,
audience doesn't know.
that's why ninja stars are illegal in the state of Kansas.
There's your sheets.
Ryan, the DM, has drawn his identifying markers for each character.
Okay, so
Do we have a forge on the property?
Yeah.
Did we
No.
ever build one?
It's in the other building, I think, right?
There, as far as I remember, and in my notes, I did not see any forges in your house property.
What about, don't we have one next to us though?
You have a building next to you that you bought.
you
Yes,
guys used a forge
Then
at
let's
one
make
point
it.
to make some stuff.
yes, that was down in the.
That was that
Down the
down
street?
in the,
Yeah,
okay.
you've done twice. You've done it in the Undermountain. You've made something down there, but
Well, yeah.
as far as up here goes, that was part of the plans in the future is possibly maybe getting a forge on site, but you guys did not commission or make a forge on site.
How about we do that?
But
She's doing
there is a
music.
place. The thing
You wanna-
you guys used last time. There is a place just a few buildings down that has the fire. I think it's a fire and water genasi.
Yeah.
That make weapons and armor and stuff. That's where Thoron got his silver axe made.
Yeah.
And so there's a place right there that you could possibly go ask about a forge, but I believe the town is probably big enough. You might be able to find maybe a guild, like a smithing guild or something that allows people.
Let's, have Floon start working on that.
Yeah.
When we're gone.
Yeah.
We should reprovision.
Yeah, I think we should.
We should reprovision and go back. We got stuff to take care of.
Why are
Army
you
of
so?
the-
You are all of a sudden. Why? What?
Are you okay?
I don't think he's okay.
Are you okay?
What?
Are you sure?
I got some questions to ask my family.
Family.
Yeah, apparently I'm royalty?
Well, we need that.
Well, we need that. Yeah.
Yeah, but when we've discovered it, I've been thinking about it for a long time.
You gonna go do some research in town?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna head to town.
So-
You're gonna go read books?
Oh.
It's called runes. Get a ride. Not stupid.
Research.
Mal, you can never read
Mal.
books.
Of all the people that can't read books,
What's her intelligence score?
My intelligence.
I'll be honest.
Thoron.
It's a 14.
Yeah, by
You're
4.
smarter than I am. You should be able to read books.
But she can read. She doesn't like to.
Exactly.
Readings for nerds.
Says the wizard.
The literal person that.
And Bertram, the one who owns the most books, has a -1.
Bertram just likes the look of the
He
covers.
likes the pictures.
I like the colors they make on binding.
And
50% of the books are made up of
speaking of which, I
Get a
DM reminder to Bertram since it's been a while. One of your books you were looking for is missing.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
Okay.
They forget.
So I want to give you my book, and so when you have time, you can look for it.
Yep.
Other than that, I'm gonna go help Bernnice with this forging.
Do you?
Bernnice don't need help with that. Bernnice is.
Every smith needs an assistant.
Yeah.
Here, pass me the hammer.
You're her assistant?
Yeah.
You could carry the
Every-
There you go.
Think of this. Every
Now
dad
do
that
you wanna
works
go
on the
help
farm
him
needs a
on
child
horses?
to hand them the tools.
There's no
Hold this
universe.
flashlight right here.
Yes, sir.
You didn't spell his name right.
I know. I remember.
Bertram.
I was shorthand.
There you go.
All right.
I mean, yeah, you could carry the mithril for me, I guess.
The lightest load.
That's already in your bag of holding.
Okay, I
Yeah.
thought so.
I mean,
You are.
speaking of which, did you find out and remember how much you have?
Yes, I had.
We should probably also research some of these items that we picked up in the Undermountain. All right. What?
Like what?
I like the ship. In the bottom.
What?
Where was that? Am I mixing?
No, there's. I'm pretty sure there's a ship in the bottom.
That we got from the giant guy.
Oh, it's in the bag of holding.
Everything is in the bag.
There's also. Can I have my rug?
The unmagical
Is it a
rug.
Wookiee?
No, it's a rug with a giant mouth on it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's a mimic?
No.
Okay,
The circle,
hold on,
the
hold
rectangle,
on,
and
hold
the
on.
giant.
Let me see if I can.
I remember about that.
Okay, ready? Here it is. Whoa! Catch it.
Egg gun rolls.
You can dodge.
And the mouth comes right at her.
You can dodge a.
Done Kirby, you've done
I
well.
literally thought that.
Okay, so-
dodge a carpet, you can dodge a flail.
You guys were able to get a total of 20 pounds of mithril, but some of it was used.
Oh yeah, for that. My shield,
For the
right?
peg.
Right.
And don't forget we have a mithril peg leg too.
Can we smelt that? Melt that down?
Smelt? Smelt.
Or no, I don't know.
Smelt.
Wait, how big of a peg leg? Are we talking thigh, knee, ankle?
Peg leg, right?
So it's not
It's a
that
big
big.
what?
If it's a
It was
dwarf,
dwarf peg leg, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
The guy we found in the swamp, I think.
That can be used as a handle.
Door handle.
Why? Like, seriously, the door's not gonna make it.
Do you the mithril shield? Or do
Yeah,
I
she has the mithril shield.
do I have the No, you can.
Wait, you can use metal?
I can use.
But she's mostly.
I'm Mal, the special.
Oh, okay.
She's a druid that casts fireball.
It's been a while. Sorry.
I mean, I have your old wooden one.
Yeah, I do remember
I
that.
don't think I have your mythical one.
You gave it to somebody.
I think it's. I didn't give it to her.
It's in your backpack.
I think you put it in the
somewhere.
bag of holding.
Like, I don't got it.
Ain't touching it. It's got elven bullshittery on it.
I have in the bag holding written Bernnice Human Shield.
Okay, so it's in the back.
Good enough for me.
Am I gonna have to donate that to the elf?
Melt it, no, you can melt it straight down.
Melt it straight
Yeah, just
down.
melt it straight down.
It could be a doorstop or
Technically, it's not Mithril. It's Mithril.
it's
Mithril.
Everyone knows it's Mithril, though.
I'm going to say how I think it's pronounced.
Yep.
Mithril.
We're American here, and I agree with
Do you
you.
call it a
I
scroll?
totally bullshit. It's Mithril, damn it.
Okay, so let me make a list before I go into town. What does everybody want? I have enough to make.
My horse.
wait, I don't want you to make anything. But in that bag, there's a jade staff or broken pieces of a jade staff. I'd like to take that to the and do some this.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Let's see if we can find it here.
Every time she opens that bag, I immediately see her dangling her legs out trying to get it. I don't know why. Because it's that deep in there.
Dude, there's like 20 pounds of feathers in
I
there.
know, well, there's everything in there.
Everything is in here. Literally everything.
She has to actually move stuff out of the
There's all
way.
those tapestries.
Do we still have all that
They're
candy
just
in there?
What?
Do we still have all that candy
as
in the
well.
taffy?
No, I
It
think
doesn't
we
have
ate it
beer.
all.
No, it's empty at the moment.
Damn it.
Unless we still have that one in
I
there.
never ate any of that taffy.
Wait.
Dang.
No.
I still got all the feathers that you gave us too.
Okay, well here's that chest of
Never
cooling.
lose those feathers.
I didn't want that. I need the-
It's our
Oh, here's a
IFR,
tapestry.
infrared
Another
printer bow.
Oh, here's a jade staff. Okay, there's
Or is it another tapestry?
How many pieces do we need? That's the
Right,
question.
how
There were
many-
2 pieces, right?
Yeah.
That we found? Yeah.
Technically, you found 3 total.
There's one
But
piece.
there's only
There
2.
were 2 pieces in the back. Yep.
Yeah.
There's another piece.
I'm thinking.
I'm
hold
gonna
on,
research
hold on.
this.
I'm gonna have to look because I think you guys found 3 pieces right off and then a 4th piece later. But I need to. I'll have to look. I don't remember even which.
There's another piece.
I'm gonna go researching. I'll be researching.
Good look at that.
Well, then are you going to go with Thorin then? If you're both going to go research?
Well, I thought you were gonna come with me and look for those horses.
But you want to go research.
I want Mal to come with me.
At all times.
And
Do you remember what floor those pieces were on?
the dwarven one, 6.
That's what I'm looking at.
I think it was 6, right? Because that was in the dwarven halls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where we found the initial ones.
That's
It
also
was
where
the
we found that
ultimate
baby
dilemma where
that
we
turned into
had to
something
decide
else.
if we were
gonna be
going to break the
researching-
glass or not.
Although you're going to be researching
I'm
that,
gonna
probably
touch
go
the
with you
baby.
on, because I need to research the names
Well,
and history.
that's the thing.
And by research, I meant I was going back to my library.
Oh, good
Well, guess what?
Well,
Wait a
no,
minute,
but
hold on.
Your family,
Hold on.
right?
You're a noble, right? Most nobles keep books of other nobles
I have-
in there.
A giant library.
I don't believe he's mentioned anything about
Dwarves
nobility.
are more of
to
an
you.
isolated people.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you do not know I am.
Okay, I'm sorry then. I above table on that.
Then you just own a
He's a
library.
collector of books, though.
You have
I
a
mean-
library.
But I'm not telling. I mean, I guess I didn't say that out loud. I'm going to go to look at my library
I thought you just
on the way out.
Oh, yeah.
He did the day before.
What?
Bertram did look at his books the day before, but that's on a
Right.
different subject. This
But
is
that's
now
still
completely different
because
subject.
I was by myself.
Right.
Yes.
I thought you mentioned a library. Only rich people have libraries. Only rich people are noble.
We
You.
have like 2 libraries upstairs.
No, you guys
We
got.
got rich. Listen, I'm not noble.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our own
I'm
tavern.
not noble, but
We have
I'm
2
rich as
buildings.
fuck.
This place has a basement, an attic.
I'll go with you because I have to pick up some stuff to possibly
But,
repair this.
All right, we'll go
Okay.
out with you guys then.
You're asking what we need out. I was hoping you could upgrade this axe a little. I'm not looking for
Here, let me see it.
with the move.
Let me see it.
Don't let Mal touch it.
I'm not gonna break it. I can put an upgrade to it. Let me see.
Better do it. I
Okay.
want to see this.
Okay, I touch my back. It's like feather
Oh god. Yes.
upgrade. Here you go.
It is now
It is upgraded.
upgraded.
It's now
heavier.
It's now feather. It's now featherlight.
You now have fed the fall.
Ouch.
You are noticed. You are known to
It's no
fall.
longer a heavy weapon.
Upgrade.
I can dual wield these. Give me another axe.
It's still a two-handed weapon.
What do you think, feathers?
You know
Great
what?
Axe become a
You know what?
versatile
Can I
weapon
get a handful
when
of
it enters
those?
the mithril.
Of what color?
Yeah.
Of whatever colors you want to give me.
Here's the rainbow.
Okay. We're gonna incorporate this, damn it.
And silver, gold, whatever color you want, it's there.
He is tasting the rainbow today.
We'll put this in the hill. This is
And
gonna be
then,
awesome.
if I ever need any more feathers, I just ask Bernnice. I got a whole box of feathers in. You want to know how many feathers are?
This is gonna be the
21
rainbow
pounds.
We do not. We know how many feathers. Do we know how many
It's
feathers?
Fiber Days sleeps on the bag of holding.
Yes.
There's feathers in the feathered fella.
I thought it was because of him. I'm pointing at the rogue over here.
I think our other rogue is stolen more.
Excuse me.
Well, I'm not talking about you.
The borrowed.
Yeah, borrowed more.
See, exactly. I haven't
It's all about the
stolen
wording.
someone's
I think our
book.
sorcerer buddy has borrowed
Wait, what?
more.
Nobody saw that. You do not know that.
No, not that book. A different book.
And none of you know that.
You know what?
All Bertram has never.
He would.
Yeah, quit.
Blaming
Gaslighting.
him for things.
He's stolen my wand how many
You
times?
do not know that.
I thought it was your. I thought it was
No.
your one.
It's not the one you're looking for.
But
That
yeah,
one has nothing to do with Bertram.
but yeah, that's all I'm looking for is a little upgrade to my axe. It's
What
not
an
a
upgrade.
Oh, we're gonna super upgrade this
No,
axe.
that is super upgraded.
It's the rainbow axe of
No.
barbarianism.
The best upgrade you could ever
It
ask.
glitters.
I am so angry.
Sound like my cousin. Oh, sorry.
If you're taking requests on weapons,
Yes.
I'll take a rapier.
He wants to be just like Bertram.
Okay,
Don't judge.
The wizard needs to have a rapier.
in the bag of holding, you had
I mean, you can't transform.
four pieces of jade staff. One of you found a fifth piece.
Who found the fifth?
Nobody.
It's all bullshit.
I mean, technically, no. I mean, nobody really did find
Nobody
the
found
Yeah,
fifth
but
piece.
if it's
But
someone
anyways,
that's still not at the
there's a
table.
fifth piece that was missing from it. But there was four pieces of that staff in the bag of holding. So there was four. You pulled out four pieces and you gave it to Bertram. He was the one that was asking about it, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do some research on it.
Okay.
It'll put it back to you like, look, guys, I have a staff.
That's a-
Did you want something? I thought you wanted like throw a lock.
Never asked for anything like that. That was everyone else.
I have it written down. That's why I asked.
It may have been, Bertram. You sure? You suck at luck.
Wow.
Damn.
I think the gauntlet has been thrown.
It's not your gang, Dave.
Do we need a lockpick off?
I think we do.
I mean, we do have a master blacksmith over here.
You can make a lock.
Yeah, no time for that. We gotta go.
Can you make it magical?
I could.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the forge.
Depends on what.
It's for show.
And it's lighter.
You and
12
Mal
pound
are gonna
shield would be
go
like
with.
5.
I'm going with Thorn and
Oh,
Priqrin?
Priqrin, the library.
Bertram.
Yeah.
And then Bartthalamew.
Guess I'm just gonna.
You wanna come with me to the forge?
No, not really.
Bart, you want to learn about?
No, not really.
You get to tease me more.
I think
That
Bart's
sounds too
down.
boring.
Now. Hurts.
God dang. That's what I need.
This stuff never
It's
gets
like,
out of your hair.
what's it called? Confetti? Is that what it's called? Confetti?
A glitter bomb.
I'll just sit right
It's
here.
like you grab a handful of feathers. Hey Bart,
And
guess
wait.
what? Oh.
Got one spell of color
while.
spray.
We should provision. I'll get provisioned up. I'll get ready.
Okay, but we're not leaving for a minute.
Don't forget the ale. Wait, that's my job.
Okay.
Yeah, you're the booze man.
I'm the moonshiner.
Booze, Wazzy.
Okay, so you
sounds
guys have your objects or your objectives for the day pretty much planned out amongst each other. It sounds like Bertram is going with Priqrin and Thorn. Mal is going with
I'll go with Bernnice.
Bernnice. Okay. Bahst is doing what?
I was just gonna go with Bernice
Okay, and
about where he can.
Bart is staying with himself.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Okay, so I got three groups. Each one of you just pick a leader of the group, and I need you to roll a D. And I need you to roll a D20 for me, please.
Okay.
12.
Even your odds.
You got a 12.
You go.
You got a 7.
Okay.
14?
Okay, your leader has rolled.
Take me to
You're with
your-
Bernnice. Y'all pointed at Bernnice. She's already rolled.
Yeah.
What did you?
12, you said?
A D20.
3.
Okay. The reason why he roll is for Bart. His roll is for Bart, even though one of his characters are going with you guys.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah, it was more or less to see which one I want to focus on first. So I guess it's going to be the metal group is going to go first. So are you wanting to see if your neighbors allow you to use a forge, or are you going to try to go to like the smithing type guild and see if you can use their forge? The blacksmith guild, I believe is what I meant to say.
I'll go to the neighbor first.
Okay.
If they say no, then.
All right. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to flip everybody over to the city map here. Just because I don't know how to grab it all together. I know there's a way you can drag everybody, but whatever. Okay. And that's roughly about where everybody is anyways. Kind of zoom in and bring it there. There you go. Okay. 7. Am I missing? I feel like I'm missing a character. 7. No, that's right. They're all there. Okay. All right. So you're just pretty much going to go down the street, which is in the same area that you guys are at. The three of you. You get over there and don't remember what it was called, and I haven't looked it up. But anyway, so you know which one it is. You're going there. It was something elemental. I don't think it's like fire and ice or something like that. But anyways, you go there. You attempt to walk in because it is a shop where you walk in, but it seems to be locked.
I'm gonna walk around. Can I walk around the building, or is it like attached to? Or is it?
It has a way where you can walk around it. Yes, it's a little bit of a tight squeeze through, but it does have a small little space between one of the sides of the buildings.
Okay. I'm gonna walk around. Hello? Anybody here?
Okay, so you kind of scrape along a little bit to get to then you find yourself on pretty much the back area of it. They have a working more indoor forge, so when you get to the other side, there is another door. They do have a back door because one is for the main street and one is for the alley. Technically, you guys kind of walked in through the alleyway. You attempt to walk in through the other door, and it appears to be locked as well.
Okay. Odd. Are there people like walking the streets? Is it like quiet?
No, it's still pretty busy. I mean, it's not early in the morning, but it's still pretty busy as far as you still see military and guards and armored folks still walking the streets.
What's seem unusual?
It's still just like it was the other day when you guys came up with them being in a war situation.
Well, this isn't our fault that some stupid people decide to steal a stupid stone. This stupid town across the way decided to come in but put on a stupid war. They're just being stupid.
Okay.
That's a lot of stupids.
Okay.
Your quick assessment, after kind of stepping back just a little bit, you do notice that there's no smoke bellowing out. And at first you didn't notice it, but they do have a sign that says closed. And just underneath it is, we'll be back when the stupid war ends.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go see if I can find the guild.
All right. All right. Yeah, the guild's not too bad to find. I'm just going to take 3 of you. Not necessarily where I'm putting you guys on the map is actually where the guild is. I'm just trying to show that you guys are in a different location. Because I completely forgot to look up where the guild is, so I'm just going to throw you randomly down like over here or so. It takes a while to get there. You're walking on foot, and you get over to the guild. It does appear to be open. There 6 stacks that they have coming out of the top are all smoking, and as you walk in, you're just hearing that rhythmic hammering tone, as you notice that everybody seems to be working on something. You see swords being made. You see one group of people making armor pieces. You see another one making like shields, helms, all kinds of weapons, and there's several of them. You got one guy who's holding on to the piece of equipment while another one's hammering it, and then he takes it and sticks it back into the forge, heats it back up. But when he sticks it in there, he grabs another pair of tongs and pulls out a different piece, goes back and it starts getting hammered on, and he throws that back in and pulls out another one. So they're just constantly moving. Most of the anvils that they have currently seem to be taken, but you're more than welcome to go up to the headmaster, if you would, or the person in charge that's here. You do notice him because he is walking around with a board of sorts, kind of like a clipboard. You notice he stops at one forge area, and it looks like he's starting to write down something, and then he moves over and starts walking off to another one. So
yeah, I'll approach him and I'll ask him, excuse me, hi, hey, how are you? Are you in charge here? Going.
Haven't seen you around. Well, with the way things are going, can't really complain. This is one of our busiest times that we've had in forever.
It does seem unusually busy. I was wondering if I could borrow an anvil for the day.
Well, all of our good anvils are taken right now. We're under commission by the Lord of Waterdeep to turn as much weapons and armors as we can for this war. So the good anvils are taken, but I got another anvil. You guys could probably a corner of section you can take. It's going to cost you because I don't recognize you at all here. So, but it'll cost you we'll say 50 gold pieces.
Okay.
That's per day.
Do you have message?
I like how she quickly pointed at me and went, nope.
All right.
That was a no. It's okay.
I mean, it's usable. It'll work. I say it's you're renting the space,
Right.
basically. So you're renting. He breaks it down and everything. It is cover the anvil, so any extra damage that acquires onto the anvil. Forge space, so any materials you use to heat up the forge to keep it going, that's to replace that. Also, if you're using water or oil or whatever to quench your stuff, it's also covering the container, the bucket, whatever size you need. It's covering all that stuff inside, and any labor that is going to be required to replace and fill whoever ends up doing it if you do not take care of it yourself. So that's why it's about 50 gold pieces a day.
That makes sense. I'm just curious as to. I thought this war was over, but
I have not gotten any words about it being over yet.
okay.
Since you said that out loud.
Yeah.
It was I still got a contract and commission to fill, so we're doing what we were told to do.
Okay.
So
I will borrow this for the day and see what I can do, or rent it for the day and see what I can do.
all right. He leads you over to one of the back corners. And you see it's not a very large forge. So definitely, it doesn't have the capability like they're doing where they're turning multiple pieces at a time. It looks like you might be able to get work on one piece at a time type of thing. The anvil is for your size, just right.
Okay.
If it was somebody bigger, it would be considered like a small anvil.
Okay.
But it works for you. You have two barrels, like whiskey barrels, off to the side. One is filled with water, and the other one is filled with an oil, if you would, in there. All the tools on the wall, if you need any tools, they're all there. Tongs, from large to small tongs, different size hammers if needed. Chisels, anything that you would need if you don't have it on your person is there for you to use. So you're all covered with materials wise. The only thing you would need is your own material. If you needed material from him, he does let you know that he can provide material, but it would be at a cost, as prices have kind of went up a little bit right now. So anywho, what are you, I mean, he walks away. What are you attempting to try to make first, or what are you working on?
Since I feel like it would be the quickest and simplest task, or just, what kind of upgrade did you want on your?
Well, I've been noticing me hitting things, monsters out there, and I'm not getting the results. That's not cutting as deep as I want it to. See, it goes this far in, and I want it to go this far. Penetration is important.
Not if you're
Well,
a
there's
man.
use protection with that? Okay. Anyway.
Only through helm.
Okay, so I'll start upgrading his weapon.
Okay. When you say upgrading, what exactly are you doing? What are you
I guess just
making?
sharpening it, putting a new blade on it. Exactly. The character would know exactly, so.
Biggs doesn't know anything about how to make things magical or how to. Bahst doesn't know how to make things. Hey, I want a magical weapon. Oh, I want this. I want it to shoot out flames or anything like that. So he's just like, I need this better. So Biggs would prefer a magical weapon. If that's not possible, that's okay. Just something better than what I have.
Bernice physically
Well, magic
can't.
weapon will require an enchantment.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah.
Smith
So-
isn't going to be able to put an enchantment.
Bernice would know that if it comes to enchantment stuff, that is not her expertise in that.
Yeah.
But she can make a master weapon.
Yeah.
She can make a weapon, yes. But I also need to know what type of material you're using, if you're replacing his weapon, or are you taking the head off and making a different type of head for his axe, or is it a sword? What type of weapon type thing are you
Is
doing?
it an axe?
It's a great act.
Great axe. And the base seems to be fine, sturdy. So I'll probably just take the head off and rework the head and make it sharper and.
The hell?
There, but Bernice. It's
Well, you don't have to take the head off or anything like that if you're just going to sharpen and polish it up.
Okay.
I mean, it looks wise, it looks nicer and upgraded, but it's still going to be the exact
Can
same
we-
thing.
Just make it silver. This is above table. I don't.
No,
Above
that's
table,
not.
I'm the only one with still 2
You
silver
can
bars.
ask that as Bahst. Can we make this silver? This is the reason why I'm asking how you doing this. What are you wanting? Because just saying you want an upgrade does not help her out. Does not help me out.
Right. Well, the reason
So-
why I'm above table on that was because I don't know how to make something that's even a possibility.
You can ask for a silvered weapon. You're asking her if she can make a silvered weapon. You're asking
Oh,
her. It's not above table. That is strictly you talking to Bernice. Say, well, what about a silver weapon? Could we make the same axe that I got now, but can we do it with a silver?
yeah.
So it's like, can we just scrap this head and do this? That's basically what
Let's do that.
that is what you're.
Yeah. Let's.
Needing to ask.
Let's scrap the head and make it silver. Then.
It's gonna be weaker.
Silvered.
Silvered.
You don't want a silver head. You want it silvered.
Well, Bernice would know that.
Yeah. And that's
Boss,
what
bosses,
Bernice-
boss, hammer rocks together, make them sharp, kind of thing.
But and that's what Bernice says. Well, you want it silvered. You definitely don't want a silver weapon because that thing's break down.
What? Why not?
Okay, so you guys have silver materials. Question is, do you have it with you in your bag, and or how much did you have? Because somebody looted some silver bars, and somebody took some of those bars and got himself a silvered axe.
We each had 5 bars.
Yes, but how many's each?
Each of us got 5 bars.
From where?
I'm trying to remember. It was the mansion.
Because somebody broke out with 2 people and they had silvered bars. Now this is going to be above table because
Like 7,000 silver pieces in the
yeah,
bag.
I
so
thought-
just start dumping out silver coins.
Yeah.
Basically, you had Roland,
100.
and I think Mal was captured or
I still
something,
have 2 left.
and they found Sai,
Yeah.
and they got out of there.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
as they were leaving,
Yeah.
they found the person's loot, I guess you can call it, and it had silver bars, and they were able to take a few of those bars and run.
Yeah.
So
They had like 10 bars or something like that.
it was something in the neighborhood of something like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm. But I would be, if you really want to melt down silver coins. I mean,
we
got
got.
100.
If it's
Got 10 gold worth.
If it's-
might.
do I don't I think I no. I don't have any silver. That's all I've got is coins in the back.
Do you need silver?
I mean, I don't know if these coins are going to be enough. Probably not. I'm probably going to need a little more silver.
I mean, if we
Would
I
take
would do the same.
If you're just silvering the blade, it's not going to take.
That's true.
Just
Much.
you're just doing a dip in silver, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much
just the edges.
painting it with layers of silver.
Well, inlays and anything else you really want to do if you want to make it.
Yeah.
Melt it, or heating up the axe and pretty much welding it to it.
Okay, so
By hyperfixations.
I'll put it this way. Normally, that would run you probably a good 15 gold pieces worth of silver. But since you're not making it completely out of silver, that will lower it down to where you may only need equivalent of 7 gold pieces worth of silver.
Let me work with the silver I've got, and then if it's not enough, I'll buy
We got 7,000
coins.
silver
Yeah.
pieces in the bag.
Okay.
So-
I think it'll be
holy
enough.
cow!
A minimum of
How much is one?
70, a minimum of 70 silver pieces is what you'll need to turn his axe into a silvered axe.
So I'll hand you silver, 7 gold coins.
Well,
Don't worry about
gold
it.
coins you don't need. She needs
Worry
the
about
silver.
it.
coins.
It's the
He
equivalent.
he's trying to buy.
Oh, sorry about the cost. All right.
Don't worry about it. I'll make this.
10 gold.
You keep your gold.
Merchant silver
Okay.
for gold.
Because you looked at my bag and you saw there's like 5 gold coins left. Actually, I lied. It's 10 gold.
Okay, since you end up reshaping his axe just a little bit, you sharpen it up, you kind of heated it up to be able to smack it around. Unless you're completely going to redo the axe head and then add the silver on top of it or into it, it'll be less time if you're just adding it to it. But if you want to work it into the metal, that's gonna take longer.
1400.
So those are 2 options. You either work it into the metal, which will take a little bit longer, or you can craft it to where it's almost coated silver versus worked in.
She's gonna rework it and work the silver into it and reshape the head.
Okay. Okay.
Don't forget to add the feathers.
My solution for it was that silver plated.
All right. So since you do have some people with you, it won't actually take you too long to do it, but it will take you most of the day
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
and possibly tomorrow to finish up his axe. Like I literally have a chart. I looked all this shit up. I literally have a chart I'm looking at based on the amount of materials you're using and what you're doing. So, but we'll do this. I will have the 3 people that are with you, including yourself, roll me a d20, and we will do an intelligence check. You're with an advantage. And we'll do an intelligence check, you and Thorn.
Oh, shit.
And she's the one with the advantage. Because, okay, 19.
I be 12.
Okay, that's good enough. You just, honestly, you really got to get above a 10. To be honest with you. Thorn, you trying to find a die to roll? You're with her, aren't you?
No, I'm with those
No?
2.
I'm with.
Oh, you're with, oh, then you. Well, when I said roll, somebody else, I know there's a third one. What'd you get?
The 3 on the dice. So
Oh,
5.
all right. It's definitely going to take you about 2 days.
Okay.
You're going to be working the metal but they're helping you. So you got somebody.
The bellows.
Somebody's. He's moving. He's probably more or less moving it for you and reheating it so that way you can get kind of a break, or even swapping it out and having them smack it a few times. She's just doing your gopher stuff. So if you need any flex, or if you're needing yourself a wet rag or towel to wipe on you, or water or something to drink, she's your go-to.
Okay.
She does get distracted a little bit during this whole thing.
She fell asleep.
During this whole thing. So there's been times where you guys had to stop for a minute or two to yell at Mal because she was messing with something or was distracted by somebody else's work of art that they were doing next to you. So
That actually tracks for her
It does.
very long.
It really does.
How much do you
But-
steal?
you
Or I mean
were
borrow?
able, throughout this day, you were able to work the 2 metals. You successfully melted down his
Looks like a sharp
axe
knife.
head back down to an ignite. You took the silver, melted it down, and you were able to forge 1 complete metal work and got the roughing of the head before pretty much the end of the day, or until you were pretty much tired. So 8 hours, 6 hours, around there roughly. So you guys are pretty much going to be gone for most of the day. The next highest group was Bart. Bart, you're sitting alone in the tavern by yourself as people have walked off and done whatever. What is Bart's day out? What exactly are you doing?
So the tavern, we got it cleaned up. It's
Yeah,
back to ship shape.
everything has been cleaned up. Except for the tank downstairs still is blown apart. But everything else, like dirty debris or anything that was trash, has all been hauled off or gone.
I'm gonna go to start with. I'm gonna start working in the basement and
Okay.
getting that cleaned back up and getting the list of things that need to be done to.
Okay. You do have a list. On your list was you plan on making a hole in the side of the tavern itself to make a doorway. That was to go into the other building.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
do that too.
that's on your to-do list.
Yeah.
You have fixed the hole in the side of the tank you just added. And I think there was one other task. You have written down, beat the shit out of sister.
I don't remember that, but
Well, underneath in quotations, it says training.
training. Training. So yeah, I'm gonna work on the
Tanks.
tanks
Tank
downstairs,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna start measuring and finding a good place to.
Okay.
On the second floor, not on the main floor, but on the second floor.
Yeah, I figured you want that on the main.
A place to make a door between the two.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check. What type is your background?
My background.
Yes. Are you a smith as well?
Well, I have some training as a smith, of course, as a dwarf.
Okay.
But no, my background is not.
Because he's got brewmaster, right? She's got smith master. So I'm not sure. We got some, but you don't got full, so I'll just say it's just going to be a regular intelligence roll for.
How come?
Excuse me.
Bart is.
I'm not sure. I don't see what you're seeing.
City Watch. That's right. Investigator. He was.
Oh.
He started out, remember, as in
Okay.
because his father is Master Smith. We were
Okay.
both training that way, and then I got too bored with that crap.
That tracks.
And so then I just started working on with the City Watch as a.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So just give me an intelligence check. I'm just going to put you guys in group. You're going to be in that group. Bernice, your fellow followers.
well, sure we didn't want it to be a strength check.
No, this, okay. I have reasoning. I have reasoning. So just bear with me.
We're gonna go with a 6.
A 6. Okay.
There goes the load bearing wall.
No. It's
It's an external wall.
It's an external house.
okay. So the reason why I was having you roll that is because you were trying to determine if any, with just looking at it, what materials you would need, so you can run off and go get it, and then come back and then start working. But you're looking at it and it's so shambled in a way. It is hard for you to look at just at a glance to see what you need. So you pull out a hammer of sorts and start whacking dents out and back in. The flared out parts, you start bending them back and hammering them back because you're trying to see what materials you need. And that intelligence check was just a quick glance for you to write down, okay, I definitely want to need this, this, and this. But now that you're working on it, you're cleaning it up, you now see what you need to do. You need to reinforce the section that was blown out. So you're going to need a big enough panel to put over there to rivet it back into place. You pulled off the top and you put your ladder down in there so you can climb in and out of that tank. All the liquid's
I don't
gone.
need to climb in.
Well, you got to get on the inside to hammer stuff.
Could find a way. I can fly.
The opening, yeah, that's true. I didn't think you were going to want to waste a spell, but I forgot it's 8 hours or it's however many hours. I forget,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's fine. you have your ways to get in and out of the tank. So you know that you're going to need a couple of new pressure release valves. The one that he had, it looks like it apparently suffered from corrosion of sorts.
Probably because he's making that shit too strong.
So
No.
you're gonna have to find a place that sells a better upgraded pressure release.
Whole new.
Well, this tank was technically custom built down here because there's no way in hell you're getting a tank that size down that hole. So you do need a panel which can fit down there, a new gauge, a couple of pressure release valves, and a couple of piping.
Okay.
So after you get all that done, and that's going to take a few hours hammering around and everything else.
Before I go,
Uh-huh.
I got that list.
That's a list for that part,
Yeah,
yes.
then I'm gonna go upstairs and
Okay.
rough that out and see about a list. So I'm not making multiple.
Yes. Fair enough. So after spending a few hours on the tank, you go upstairs, you enjoy a couple of ales to quench your thirst.
Thirsty work done.
Yeah, you go back up to your area. I want to say, I almost got to look back at the tavern real fast. Second floor. You're on. If we look at the picture of northeast, southwest, your room was on the top part
Mine
north,
has
right?
a, turret.
The yeah. Perfect. Okay. Give me. I want another intelligence roll, and I really hope this one's good because I got it. You got a plan in your head right now that would work tremendously.
Dang.
Okay.
Let's put this over here for a bit. Let's
You want to borrow mine?
let's
It
break out.
hasn't gotten bad rolls yet.
Let's break out this one.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, you got a rough idea of how much materials you're going to need. You do a bunch of measuring. You scratch your head trying to figure out which is the better place. Were you wanting to do any demo work, or are you just doing the measuring?
Yeah, and then I'll go next door and make sure that
Okay.
both sides look like
So-
a good place, like from a hallway or if it has to be in the library room or.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You look back. You find a good place in the other house. That looks like a good spot. In your room, you're like, I'm pretty sure this is right here. This will yeah, this will work. This should be in that spot that's on the other side. So you got your measurement. You got like an idea of a door. All the framing work, pieces of wood that you kind of get your measurements and stuff like that. So you spend probably a good hour going back and forth between two places. So overall, you spent roughly 4.5 hours or so doing these two jobs. That still leaves you plenty of time to go and gather material and bring it back. So was that the only other list you wanted to do?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to run off. I'm going to move you from the tavern now. And that's the wrong person. That's you. I'm just going to stick you over here by the market. There you go. It's strange as you go to the market. You do notice that a lot of the places seem to be closed.
Yeah.
And if they are open, a lot of their supplies are very slim. But you are able to find a wood shop that sells wood supplies. They did have what you need, but it is a little on the markup side. So as you're walking in, a half orc with a bib around his neck and tied behind his waist, and a pencil behind one of his ears. He has a monocle over one of his eyes, and at first glance, he kind of comes off as this like stone-hearted looking guy, but he sees it and he goes,
I'm not wearing any of my armor. I'm just wearing normal, everyday clothes. And
he looks at you and he just goes, "You look like a man who's in need of wood supplies."
On a mission.
On a mission.
God.
And I
Yes, you needed wood.
break out my list.
And you just kind of hand it off to him.
Just stand up next to him and say, "This is what I need.
Okay.
What do you got?"
He looks at it and he goes, "I got it all. What type of wood do you want?
What kind of wood is that?
You want it to match?"
Yeah.
I'm a fan of
Oak frames.
yeah, I'm a fan of cherry.
Solid wood.
Oh my god.
But
why is
I have a
I
feeling
got a
that
big bag of gold. Let's make it deep.
What the fuck?
Wow.
The goal is not enough.
like I said, whatever
Teak is, I think, more expensive.
whatever you want. It can always be stained to
Imported.
Yeah, I'm just
like,
whatever's
realm.
there. I'm gonna match it up.
okay. Matching up. All right. All right. So he goes back to the back and brings in a couple of things.
So I asked him, "Is this gonna take a minute?"
It'll take a few minutes. I'll gather it up.
Tell you what. I'll leave this list. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find another.
All right.
another list of things.
Could I have you put down just a small little deposit
Sure thing.
so I know you'll come back?
Yep.
Let's start off with 50 gold for right now.
It's a door.
Well, there's wiggle room,
I give him
but
50 gold.
okay. Okay, and you do that. And he goes, and the name?
Bart.
Bart. Okay. It should be ready by the time you get back.
Okay.
So you leave, and again, when you come into the shop, there's racks of different woods and variation lengths and everything else, and he can cut it down to length for you or whatever. But you give him you kind of have the dimensions laid out, so he's just going to go ahead and cut the pieces to the length that you have written down, and everything else. So where else you?
I need to find two things.
I
need to find a wagon and a horse to rent all this crap back.
Wagon could be easy.
Cart.
The horse itself might be a little bit more
all
difficult.
horses.
You're able to find a push behind wagon. Pretty easy.
Like a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, like a wheelbarrow. You're able to find it like a push behind wagon type thing. Actually, pretty cheap.
Yeah.
They're normally about almost 150 to 200 gold pieces just for your standard, but
This.
it is.
Okay, go.
It is expensive. It seems like right now things seem to be a little bit more expensive right now.
This is Los Angeles.
But
Park viewing.
you're wanting to rent, and that's to buy. You're wanting to just rent it for a bit.
Yeah.
And they do. This guy does agree. It's an older, stout man. He tells you sure he'll let you rent it. 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
And he said you can rent it. As far as horses go, you're not able to really find any horses.
Mules.
Mules.
Donkeys. Barbarians. Druids.
Druids.
Don't care.
She said dog.
Yeah, no, actually you could find a donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit smaller than you, but it's. I mean, when I say smaller than you, I don't mean like it's a shorter donkey.
Absolutely.
It's bigger than a goat, but smaller than your standard sized donkey.
Still a medium creature, isn't it?
Wait, if I have a push behind cart though,
You have a push behind.
I don't.
You could rig it. you could rig it.
Let's just try to push behind cart. I just want to see how this works out.
Okay.
But I might come back with stuff.
All right. The donkey's still there if you need it.
Okay.
Okay, so you wheel over the push cart and you kind of like park it
I
outside.
gotta go find the brewer's supplies.
Oh, yeah. You do find a shop.
Okay. Good.
It takes you a minute to find it, but you do find a shop.
Push my cart around.
Yeah, pushing your cart with you.
You're shopping today.
I can just imagine you with a wheelbarrow walking around town.
It's
Her, I get him.
it is a fellow dwarf, a drunk one,
Thoron is
Are there any other brewer's supplies?
at a brewer's supply store.
never,
Yeah.
you never
So you walk in.
buy your own supply, man.
He is definitely. It's. He is of lighter complexion.
Yeah.
And it's not just him, but he does have. There's two others that are in there as well. And as you walk in, they stop whatever chatter they're doing, and they see you, and they just bust out laughing. Like, what type of dwarf are you?
I'm a gold dwarf.
A gold dwarf? Yeah. They just start bust out. They're not gold dwarfs at all, but they see you, and they each look at each other, and you just hear them. they just start laughing, and yeah, you kind of got that complex look, like the fuck.
What's going on? In dwarvish.
They look at each other, and they're like, oh. He was just telling a joke about a guy coming in. He said, wouldn't it be funny if somebody came in looking for supplies and we happen to be drunk? And we're like, nah, this wouldn't happen. Ain't nobody wanting supplies today. We don't even know why we're open. And you walked in and it's just funny. And they are well drunk at this point. I mean, they said that they're staying open because why not? They figure if somebody desperately needs anything, we're here. But we haven't had anybody in the shop in almost like damn near 6 days.
Well, good. You probably need to sell some stuff.
Sure, yeah. What you need?
A little accent. Another guy had an accident, but I'm fixing it.
Accident. What type of accident?
So I show him the list and say, can you tell?
Wait, is it the same list that you gave the other guy, or you made two separate? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was all just one sheet. All right. See.
Remember, it didn't happen.
Oh, okay. So you hand one guy, and then all of a sudden the other two come close and look over it. And they're like, okay, we can do this. We got the valves, we got the gauges, and we got the piping. The sheet that size that you need, we can have it ready by tomorrow. We don't really carry these panels. You'll either have to make one or cut one, and we can have it ready by tomorrow.
Everything else is in stock now?
Everything else, though, we can give it to you right now today.
All right, let's get that going.
All right.
Next thing you know, they fall on their face.
Is this like across the courtyard from the lumber yard?
It's a little bit of a walk.
Okay. I'll just wait for him then.
The guy comes back with one of the brothers. Goes back. Yes, they're brothers. I didn't mention that, but they are brothers. Goes back in the back. Comes back out with piping. Like he's got literally like one arm stuck inside the piping, going like this, and he's got like a couple of gauges and stuff underneath. And he comes over and he goes, "Here's your piping, here's your gauges, and here's your valves."
I look over.
Yeah, and you had the various size of piping.
The only thing I'm missing is my sheet.
Is your sheet, yeah. Total cost, and we're gonna have you pay for the sheet now, because if you don't come back for it, we're not gonna waste our time. 25 gold pieces for the sheet, and three gold for the other stuff.
So I put my hand on his shoulder and say, "That's the element. That's the dwarf."
Persuasion.
Nice. 24.
Oh damn.
You put it on your the eldest brother's shoulder, and he's the one that has the list, and the other two have been going and getting their shit or whatever. He looks at you and looks over at them and goes, "I like you. You made our day. You got us laughing. We're in a cheerful mood. 10 gold pieces for everything."
I take out 10 and give him 10 and tell him I'll be back.
And then one of the brothers hands you a mug,
Oh.
and they all raise it up. Yeah! And they start drinking.
And yeah, clown back.
It is very bitter. I mean, it's strong, but it is bitter.
Is it good bitter or?
It's a good bitter, yeah. No real bad aftertaste either, but it's like you drink it, and it's just like, oh, wow, what was that?
That's the dwarf good stuff. How about
Yeah.
another one for the road?
It's like it's their own stash. It's the shit they make. Pour it out. Here you go. And then they drink another glass with you. Before you go.
I tell them that I own the DoorSmashers. If they had control store.
Oh yeah.
Stop by sometime.
I think he's mentioned something about that. Yeah. We're around there. We
Stop
may
by
have to
sometime.
stop.
He'll be on.
How about this?
Well,
We'll deliver the panel to you
we're
tomorrow.
out of stock
Oh.
right now. Because that's why I have some. Do we have some in stock?
Yeah. You still got about a barrel.
Yeah, of our stuff?
Yeah.
All right. I tell them come by tomorrow with the pan.
All right. We'll deliver the panel to
Even
you.
better.
We'll deliver it to you. Yeah. I like to try your stock. Let's see how that goes. All
Can I
right.
get their names?
Boris, Morris, and Course.
Morris, and Force.
Wow.
He's made 3 new friends. They're dwarfs.
And one of them has a name.
Perfect.
They're the Van Deeren brothers.
So I drink it down and I slam it on the counter and
Oh yeah, they're right there with
wish you
you.
well and say, all right, see you tomorrow.
And all in Dwarvish, they give you that. They say goodbye in Dwarvish. You walk out. You walk down a little ways.
Put all my stuff in my
Yep, and it's got sides. It has little side
And card in
panels.
there.
Yep, and push it over.
Over to the lumberyard.
And you walk over to the lumber guy. He literally has almost like a garage door type thing. It's open. He has a cart that has a door. It's got all the mechanics you need for it. It's got a handle, locks, whatever. All the assembly pieces, hinges, everything that you asked for. It also has the framework and everything else. Everything not assembled. It's all in pieces.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
Hopefully not elvish.
he pushes over there. Now, 50 was the gold payment. He says, all right, minus the 50 and everything else comes out to you just owe another 25, and that's it.
Yeah, and I give him the 25.
All right, and he starts loading up on your cart. You get everything there. It is pretty nice wood. You don't even have to stain it. I mean, it is good as it is right there. If you want to do any staining or anything like that, you can do it, but it looks good out of the package right off. So you get all loaded up, you pay him, and he goes, well, I'm done for the day. And he shuts, you hear it slide down. The front door already had the close sign. He was just waiting for you to get your shit.
Yeah.
And then you see him you start hearing the latch. Before you haul off, you start hearing him lock up.
So how heavy is this thing now?
For you?
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
It's heavy if it was for anybody that like maybe 10 base strength.
Yeah.
But I think you got what, 14? 16? Oh yeah, it's good. You're good. You wheel this just fine. The cart itself, it sounds squeaky. So you're walking down. No, it's not your feet. That's the cart wheels.
Yeah.
They just kind of squeak as you're going. It'll take you pretty much, by the time you get there, you can haul everything off and where you need to, but it'll pretty much take up the rest of your time for the day. Getting the materials inside, getting it where you want to place it,
Yeah, sounds good.
parking everything. And if you're taking the cart back that same day.
Yeah, I'll take it back.
Okay, so even all that, taking the cart back, unloading everything else.
So I just got the materials. They're on the first floor right now. Got them loaded in.
Yep. And you go and take the cart back, and you're on your way back. All right. Third group. The Bookworms. Okay, so you
We
three,
read the Bible of Helm.
you three are kind of led by Bertram.
I'm
Is that
assuming, right?
who's leading you for this research thing you're wanting to do?
So you were researching.
Family history and
Okay.
true name.
I'm trying to repair his book. I just needed like a bookstore or something, and I was gonna go with you
Repair
guys.
his book.
Yeah, he gave me his book. You know, the book that was ruined.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's
He knows it has a picture of my family in there.
So the
Have
closest.
you been to my house?
Why is there
I
a horse head
not.
too?
Yes, you have.
I have.
You have. You were on a carpet when you went there, but you weren't inside. You were outside.
It's probably been by there.
I've been by there.
Yeah.
But I've never been inside.
Because somebody pocketed a book from you and put it in his personal library when you went over there. So, yes.
But I don't know that.
But you don't know that. You just know the book's gone. You don't know what the hell happened
Yeah.
to it. But
I
yeah.
must have dropped it.
But yes.
Let's go to my house and just start there.
Your house?
Yes.
Where do you live?
You've been to my house. You had dinner there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you three head over to Bertram's house, which is actually pretty close, is much closer, not pretty close, much closer than actually hitting the Library of Waterdeep, which is what I'm calling it. It's probably called something else, but I'm going to call it Library of Waterdeep.
Waterdeep Municipal Library.
Thank you.
Wow, you came up that really quickly.
Yeah. So you head over to Bertram's house. You do know that your dad does have a section, a little room, almost like closet-like, that is for book repairs. Because some of the books he gets are not always in the best condition.
Loading station.
So, you do know that he does have an area where somebody can work on books at his place. So that comes in handy. You do arrive. You're greeted by your butler. Of course, you know, he, oh, hello, sir. And guest?
Introduce him to my friends. Thorn.
I remember Sir Thorn.
Good to see you again.
Sir Priqrin.
Hello.
Could I get you anything to drink or eat, sir?
I'm good.
I'll have a water.
And then Bertram does that too.
I'm joking. A dwarven ale, please.
We don't usually carry dwarven ale in stock. I can run to the nearest place and maybe find some, but...
A glass will be fine so I can pour my own dwarven ale.
Okay. Certainly. I can bring you a glass. You, sir?
We will be in the library and ask not to be disturbed for it.
Certainly. I will let the other I'll let the others know. Staff, thank you. Brain fart. I'll let the other staff know not to disturb you. I will be back shortly with your glass. And yes, do you want me to let your mother know that you're here?
No.
Your sister?
That would be fine. But
Okay.
and my mother figure.
Right, your mother figure.
And
And
I lead them into the
yeah, he
library.
he walks off. You open it up. Shortly, he comes back and he hands you a frosty glass mug.
Okay. Appreciate it.
And he kind of just nods to you and he says, "I will see myself out. Just ring the bell if you need me again, sir."
Thank you.
And he walks out. This library is pretty big. I mean, it's just amazing. The size of the mansion outside. You would not imagine this library being in here. I mean, how big it is. You know, you've seen houses on the outside. They look huge. You go inside. It looks huge inside. It doesn't look that big on the outside, but when you go in, just because of how everything's laid and how everything's been made, it's got more open space than what you would imagine. So when you go in the library, it is a double-decker library. It's got another deck, another little small walkway that you can go up there. It's got ladders on one side of the wall because the walkway only runs like parallel with one side of the wall. It's got bookshelves. You got windows for natural lighting. It's got an overhead like sunlight roof on top that is not openable. It's completely sealed, closed, and it has bars.
Instead of a tree.
But it allows more light to come in from the top. In the middle, which is not lit up, is looks like a glass dome. When it lights up, it provides light for the day. Otherwise, there are some candles, but not a whole lot. Your father believes candles should not be in the library at all.
Yeah, probably right.
So he tries to bring in as much natural lighting as possible. For those of you that are, I wouldn't say mechanically inclined, but those of you that are magically inclined, that is one of the orb of lights, but a little bit bigger than what Mal has. So, but it is not turned on right now. It's just right there in the middle. That's it. So,
Have at it. Oh, and I have a book repair room.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Is Chill Touch a cantrip?
What?
Is Chill Touch a cantrip?
It is.
Oh my god.
I'm not sticking.
No, for the cup itself, because Chill class.
Oh god. I just got it.
yeah, I knew exactly where it was going when he said chill touch. All right, so you go off.
Got a
We'll
glass
go
just for
ahead.
that reason.
We'll go ahead and deal with your book repair
All right.
just real quick. You open it up, and as you open it up, a light just automatically bing, turns on. Okay, it's kind of it's definitely nice. You see a nice little desk. It's the lights here. It does have a little lamp right here that you can turn on. It's weird because when you flick it, it looks like fire. It puts out a little bit of heat, but there's not like smoke or anything. It's almost like when you flick it, for some reason, a continual flame or some sort of It just turns on for you or whatnot if you need closer light. It's got pretty much everything you need to repair books, from stitch removers to stitchers to new papers of 3 different types of papers, like grit wise. High quality, smooth type paper to the lower quality, a little bit rougher of a paper, which is also a little bit thicker. He's got 4 different leathers in there for book bindings. If you need new book wrap it back in leather.
Make him a new book.
Yeah. he's got any type of leather chisels, punches, it's all there.
All right.
So you just describe to me what you're wanting to do, and we will have you roll on it just to see. It's just mostly just to see how well you're going to be able to manipulate this and fix it versus, you fail or not. You're going to succeed.
Yeah.
It's just how well do you succeed.
I want to try to. Oh, go ahead. I want to try to remove the ichor from the book without removing the ink.
Okay.
And I was thinking about possibly trying like education, but I just don't know how that's going to work.
Okay. All right.
And I don't know what other chemicals you could put into a book to try to remove things.
He
like
does have, there are chemicals and they're all labeled. You can try one of those.
There's one that says ichor removal.
that. Ichor removal right there.
It's spelled differently, but they pronounce it ichor. Do you want to try that?
Bertram reaches into his pouch too, takes out a paper and says, "While you're at it, put that in there too."
This in there?
Yeah.
Where'd you get this?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
just add it in.
Okay.
It's a monster thing.
Okay.
And how big is this room? Is it big enough? Is there like another table that I can look at, or
Yeah, he has
It's a library.
He has 2 reading desks in there that are not close to each other. One of them though has like a couple of chairs. It's more or less for like if somebody else is sitting with them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes your dad does have somebody there and they're discussing stuff. They go in there. So it's got a couple of chairs or whatnot around there, and then another desk that it looks like more of a private study type desk. It's a secretary desk, so it's got one of those little lids that closes and locks. It wouldn't take you a matter of just
is it long?
unlock.
I need a place long enough to
Yeah,
lay like 5 pieces of a jade staff.
Yeah, that that table that has the chairs would probably work, and it's a dark cherry oak
I also point out to
cherry.
Thorn where the dwarven section of the
Yeah,
library.
They got some information about dwarfs. It is on the upper part.
Yeah.
Off to the side.
That's ironic.
Yeah, we
Good
put,
thing I have
we
stilts.
put the
got-
books for the shortest people at the highest.
Good thing I got stilts.
There's a ladder.
I would your stilts aren't going to reach it. You're going to have to you either take the spiral up or you're going to have to take the spiral staircase up.
Oh, it's the 2nd floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they put the shit they don't really care about up top. I'm joking.
We put A up the top corner, and then it goes to D. And
Oh,
C
so
at
it's
the
not
bottom.
it's not the Dewey Decimal System?
It's an alphabetical order.
Yeah.
Dwarves D.
Yeah. So you're going to go up there?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna look for history of.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
You're looking through books, but I'm going to go back to the staff issue one first. So you pull out the 4 pieces you were given.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
And the 5th piece.
And then the 5th piece. Okay.
And so I line them up on the
Mhm.
desk, and
Easy to tell the
start doing
top. It's easy to tell what the top of the staff and the bottom of the staff look like.
Okay.
They're the only ones that have 1 break. It's the other 3 that have 2 breaks in them. So it really doesn't take you that long to
figure out which
one does what.
All right.
So you're able to kind of put it back together, but obviously it's not. They don't just magically stick together when you do it.
All right.
It does look like you're going to need possibly somebody who knows maybe mending.
You're like me.
Does Bertram know mending? He knows mending now? Oh, fuck out.
Matter of fact, I don't even use my hands to do this. I use Mage Hand to play with it because I can't. But you don't see this.
Makes sense.
Because he's a badass.
No, he's a noble. Why get his hands dirty?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's what we'll do. You get the staff back together, and I'm gonna go back to him.
Oh, I didn't have to roll anything or nothing?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said I'm gonna go back to him.
Okay.
All right, so you're gonna try that vial.
Yeah, that vial of ichor removal. I want to do
Okay.
one page first just to see what it does to the page.
One page that has ichor, or just one
Yeah.
page period?
No, just one page that has ichor. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it does seem to kind of work. The pages do seem to come apart. But it's definitely gonna take a little bit of time to dissolve.
What the hell did that book? Where are the pages?
But
I don't know what he did with it.
what's stupid is you're sitting there as you're doing it, you're watching it kind of do it. You look over at that vial. It's not ichor removal, it's ink removal. It unsticks the pages. The ichor is still there, but it's not sticky anymore. But you can still kind of see the words on the pages. It's working, but you didn't use a whole lot of amount. That's the nice part. You used a little bit because you said you just want to use a little bit. So
Oh no, the reason why Bahst wanted it back so bad, is because there's a drawing of his dead family on there.
it's
In ink.
well, what's funny is that label that says ink. It was crunched just a little bit, and then you like. It says ink, not
Is this the
ichor.
Emperor's New Groove?
Seems to work though, so you can continue doing that if you want. Or you can.
I have a question. Will it? So it won't remove the ichor, but it's removing the ink, leaving an outline of the words that are there.
Not necessarily.
I mean, it's a workaround. I mean,
Well, I mean, you have other options, but kind of. So yeah, it's cleaning off the ink, but now it's ichor's there. Yeah, it's reversed. Instead of being a blank page with writing, now it's a black darkened page with blank white writing ink.
All right.
But the pages aren't stuck no more.
Well, we're gonna continue to do that. This is the best fix we can find.
Well, that's the fix that you're going with. There's other options, but that's the fix you're going with. All right.
And then the extra page that I was given that I need to slip in there. I'm assuming that I'm going to have to unbind the book.
Yes. You will need to unbind the book. And as you unbind the book to slip it in, you do find a small little sliver of paper that looks like it was cut.
Oh, we're just gonna remove that out of there. I don't
Okay.
know why that's there.
And when you put the page in, you notice that the page is like almost an inch shorter than the rest of the page. About the same size of the sliver that you just pulled out.
Well, it would make sense if it was a different piece of paper that it didn't fit in there correctly.
So, but you can bind it in there. It's just it definitely like it doesn't line
The
up.
magic card trick is the one that works. It's that one page.
Yeah.
The one page that's really going to stand out.
Besides the other pages that are like black.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, everything's readable. Everything works. You're able to put it together. I just need you to give me a intelligence roll.
Straight intelligence roll?
Yes, we're gonna go straight intelligence because this isn't something you normally
That's a
do.
6.
Okay. Okay. All this makes sense. All this makes sense.
Yeah.
All this is good.
Yeah.
Okay, Sir Dwarf, looking at dwarf stuff.
Yes, sir.
Just give me a roll We're going to go with a history roll for you.
18.
18. There are quite a bit of stuff of dwarfs on his shelf on the book. Everything from dwarf favorite foods to dwarf sexual positions and does it dwarf? To histories of dwarf, wars and conflicts.
That must be a long list right there.
To a few other weird entries too. One is like literally a book biology of dwarfs, which is weirdly graphical. You're looking at it and you see what almost looks like somebody had dissected a dwarf, and you see like pictures of somebody drawn of skeletons to respiratory to pretty much almost like they filleted a dwarf out and just like drew it in this book. I mean, it is ins and outs. There's a glandular thing in there. You're going, I didn't know I had that. And it says, all it's saying is like, this gland helps dwarfs consume more alcohol than anybody else. It's weird. It is definitely a weird book, but you put it back. I just need you to give me a besides that history check, I need one other one, and it's going to be a sleight of hand. We'll just call it sleight of hand. Just give me a sleight of hand check.
On a hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's an 11.
Okay. You splash a little bit of your ale on a couple of the books, and you look over your shoulder, and he's busy rearranging pieces of this golden looking thing. You just kind of like wipe. Well, yeah. You've already done that part. You've done that part, but you just kind of rub a little bit. Like you already sucked the liquid off, but it's still a little damp. So you just like rub it. You just like rub it off. You just rub it real quick, and then you put it back.
Don't worry about it.
There's one book. It says something about it says kings and queens is what it says.
Okay.
And that's about it. That one interests you. You kind of look at it. It's more or less talking about hierarchies in a lot of dwarven communities and everything else. Not all of them are the same. It gives an example as there's one tribe that a dwarf king, when his queen bears multiple heirs, one heir must become the next will become the next seat, will take the next seat for kingdom. The other one is then moved is required to join become pretty much like a paladin or join the front lines in a way. He is not allowed to become king.
Okay.
The only way he is allowed to become king is if the current king, and it's written AKA his brother, is killed with no offsprings. Dies with no offspring. So if he has no heirs, so if he has no heirs, then the paladin, the one that was the paladin, will become a king. But it's unclear that it has not really happened, and it seems like it's only temporary.
Yeah.
That that house may end up ceasing and a new house rise up to become king and so forth. So that's about the only other one you can find that mentions anything remotely to what is going on with your family heritage. Again,
Yeah, I fill in the blanks in that one.
he kind of can fill in the blanks a little bit.
Yeah.
He doesn't really, there's not really any books that pertain to what you're looking for too much in his library. Again, a lot of this is a private collection,
Yeah.
but the bigger libraries may have more in-depth history, because why would somebody carry your family heritage or lineage in their personal library? I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. Yeah.
Wouldn't make sense.
So, back to the staff. You get the 5 pieces back together. It is a beautiful golden, or not golden, but jade staff.
Say, wait,
Yeah.
became gold?
It's a beautiful jaded staff.
Is it like a staff like my staff like I use, or is it like a short? I mean, how big are we talking?
It could almost be like, I mean, it's staff. It's a big staff. It's not like a walking stick or anything. It is like, what's his name? Gandalf staff. It's
It's big.
Made of
it's
wood.
yeah, it's big. No,
Okay,
it's a jade staff.
It's big old jade staff.
What's
And
funny?
it was dwarvish, right?
It was found in the dwarvish area, but it's not
It's
dwarvish.
not dwarvish.
No, it is not dwarvish. What's funny about it is it looks like a snake.
Like this.
Yeah, it looks like the top of it is almost like a snake head,
Yeah.
and then it looks like the snake itself is just wrapped around
Cool.
the rest of it, all jade looking. But yeah, so
Does
you
it
get.
look like it could be used as a weapon?
Oh, it could definitely be used as a weapon, that's for sure. In fact, as you're holding it, you've just recently started becoming attuned to powers, magical abilities. You get a magical essence coming off of it when you put it back together. It's very interesting.
I pick it up and I like hold it and like kind of like I would with my staff, kind of use it as a kind of flip it around and flourishes.
Yeah, you do that. Give me a let's do a dex.
X.
Yeah, let me get a dex check from you.
Just straight up deck.
Yeah, we'll just do straight up dex.
15.
Okay. You're swinging around and everything else. It feels pretty balanced. And yeah, normally you're playing around. You see the chair sitting there in front of you as you're kind of like spinning around.
Yeah.
And you go, "Wha-" and you hit it against the chair, just knock it over and everything else. That chair, right as it hits the ground, turns into a snake
What the chair does?
and begins to grow.
I'm confused. Hold on.
You just turned the chair into a giant poisonous snake.
I'm getting
So the
flashbacks
staff is
here.
in my hand. I smacked it.
That's
You
kinda
smacked it against
cool.
the chair, and it turned that chair into a giant poisonous snake.
All right, I hit it again.
You hit the snake again?
Yeah. Well, I want to see if it turns back into a chair.
Makes sense. Like,
Totally
oh
makes
shit.
Yeah.
Either way, you're getting the snake away from you, or it turns back into a chair. Either one.
It's an enormous snake now.
It grows again.
It's a huge snake.
So this was a giant snake anyway.
Huge.
Yeah, it's a giant snake.
It's the greatest.
It's
Yeah,
considered a giant poisonous
And
snake.
I think I would probably say something like, "What the fuck?" Wow.
Okay.
Okay. This is weird.
Yeah. You do notice though the snake itself on the staff is gone.
So now it's just a jade staff.
It's like a jade staff, yeah. So
But
right now the snake detail of the staff is gone, and you transform that into
The chair's gone.
chair's gone.
The snake is
there.
doing what?
Right now, it's just looking at you.
And,
Into your
I give it the I say coil.
Oils.
And what does the staff do when it does this?
It feels the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I start walking towards where Bertrams is, and I say follow.
It follows. With whatever room you have in that
I mean,
library.
how big is this?
Okay, a giant poisonous snake. Well, it's considered a medium creature,
Okay.
so it's got enough room.
It's as big as I am. Let's put it
But it's considered a medium creature on it.
You turn into a giant snake.
So what does it look like? Is it jade or is it?
Yes, it is jade in color. It scales and everything. It is a jade. I mean, it looks flesh-wise looks just like a regular snake, but it's a jade colored snake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you smacked it with your staff. Nothing really happened. It just, like I said, kind of gave you like
what the hell?
yeah, like not sure why it just got smacked.
Okay. I think I
Can you control it?
Well, that's what I said. I told the coil, and I told it to follow, and it followed, and so.
Don't let Matt have whatever you do. The guy's above table. Don't let him.
I tell it to. Is there another chair?
Yeah.
I tell it to get on the chair and coil.
Yeah, it gets on the chair and it coils. The chair does not break.
Okay.
So now it's on.
Yeah, I mean, if I sat in it, right, as a medium creature, then.
Yeah. By the way, you look over your shoulder there, Thorn, and there is a snake eye to eye with Bertram in the library on top of a chair.
Just another day.
Yeah. Should have retired 10 years ago.
He starts drinking.
Sarts?
Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna be stupid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold up my arm and tell it to, and see if
It slithers
my
off.
arm and.
It slithers off the chair. It's still considered a medium creature, so it's pretty close to your size already.
It's pretty heavy.
And you told it to come. It comes over to you.
Or I want to have it crawl on my arm.
It's probably. It does something like that. It kind of coils around you, but it not like up your arm or anything. It does coil around you, and you feel the coldness. You do feel the coldness of it, and you can feel the presence of its head just kind of leaning over right here, and just. It's not squeezing. It's not squeezing, but it's coiled around you.
Does it talk?
Oh yeah. I try to talk to it.
It
What's your name? Is me the tongue, right?
yeah. It just kind of. Was just looking at you.
Okay. I tell it to. This is a big snake, big medium-sized creature.
It's like an anaconda. Actually, that'd be a large creature, wouldn't it?
Apparently he has buns.
I'm gonna.
Oh, when I was talking about the
See if I
staff,
can
I was
find
not talking
a
about that
box.
one.
That's big now. Put this snake in
Putting the snake in. Oh,
the box.
What's in the box?
There's
Does
a
it
snake
need
in my
lube?
A
box.
chest or or a bag or
Big.
Give it air holes at least.
I don't think you're gonna have a big enough thing for it in a way. You might be able to maybe empty out a foot chest and probably
Is
put
this
in-
like the size of like Mal has turned into a snake before? Has she
Right.
turned into a giant snake like this before?
Where's my inventory?
Yeah, I believe hers is considered giant, but they're still considered a medium
creature.
beast.
I mean, but that's what it's called in the monster
Yeah.
manual. Giant.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just
One thing that's available.
you kind of get the hint, not a hint. This is an object that you have to attune to.
Yeah.
It's not an attunable type of staff. It literally does not require attunement for you to do this.
I'm going to see if it will coil back up onto the staff. Or,
Okay. Yes. So let's just put it this way. You take the staff and you end up touching on the, instead of bonking it with the staff, you touched it on there and you told it to go back to the staff.
Yeah.
You now find yourself intertwined with a chair and notice the snake itself is back on the staff again. But now you're in
But I'm like, wrapped up with the chair.
this chair is now wrapped up on you.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
I'll give you all the statistics for it later, but yeah.
I got the staff.
Yeah.
And it's got the snake on it.
And now the snake is back on. Yeah.
What is that?
You do got the book ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say you kind of come out of the room. You see Bertram wrapped with the snake around him. Your first instinct is to attack and maybe save him. But it's fascinating because he's not screaming, he's not flailing, and he doesn't have a weapon out other than he's holding a jade-looking staff. You see him touch the staff to the head of the snake, and you see the snake, all of a sudden it's gone. And now this chair is just like wrapped around Bertram. And all he has to say is, huh, that's interesting. But the book is done.
Sweet. I think I got his book done.
Booked on phonics.
So, real quick, you guys kind of dick around and whatnot. Your day is technically not up. This didn't take you guys, this group, all that time. But
Thorn, did you find what you're looking for?
Well,
Do
it's
we need
just
to go to the big library?
yeah. We're gonna have to go to the local library.
Where you can find all the information.
okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick 15-minute break, and we'll start with you guys over at the bigger library type
Okay.
thing. So we'll be right back. We're just gonna take a short rest and continue with them at the library.
For G-string.
Hey, you guys, we are back to finish up the second half of our game. Where we left off, we have the Bookworms group traveling to the main library of Waterdeep. Again, amongst traveling, it is kind of still a little crowded. You do guys see a bunch of military and everything else walking and walking around, still occupying majority of the street and everything else. Everybody still looks like they are up in arms. All right. You have not heard any word yet saying that the war is ended. The street criers have yet to say anything about the war's called off or it's stalled or anything like that. So no new information about the war has been being said as you guys are walking across. You do make it to the main library. Luckily for you guys, it is still open, which is kind of nice that it's still open. The one of 5 librarians that are there have you sign in. to the library. They keep records of who has entered and who has left. So there's a sign-in sheet for you guys to sign in.
Does this library have a library card system?
No, because they don't actually allow books to leave. Unless you have been granted, like if you're a professor or some sort of higher up of status in the place, like not really an open lord, but somebody up there.
That's where all those books came from.
Like even a restoration. If you're a restoration type person, you might have special privileges to remove books and stuff like that. But it is very not guarded, but it's very strict.
What about nobles?
I'm somewhat of a researcher myself.
They just don't. No, you don't really have. They see you two as the same. You don't have that badge. You don't have the badge that they're looking for that allows you the special privileges. No, sorry.
What are the renowns that we have?
Did the same thing.
So,
What are the renowns we have?
not for the library.
I think we don't have library renowns.
Yes. Okay.
You guys sign in. Obviously, Bertram uses another alias.
No, I agree on Raspberry.
Okay, you're going to use your actual name on this?
Sure.
Okay. You happen to glance over and you see him write a fake name on there. It doesn't say Bertram. He writes a completely different name than what you know him as. So yeah, he writes another fake.
I know
Another
that
name.
Thorn knows my real name, and I know that.
Do I know your real name?
I don't know.
No.
No, he just knows I'm Bertram, the blade.
Yeah. Any information about you was it? Yeah, those two definitely do not know anything of you or
They
your
know I'm a
past.
noble, but they don't know.
They know you're a noble now, but yeah, they don't. And yeah. A lot of them are questioning why are you even going down there for? It doesn't make sense. You're a noble, whatever. So you guys split off to go through the library to decide what you're looking for, type of thing. Well,
I'm gonna try to use my noble status to have a librarian help us.
okay. Okay. They do have the 5 librarians that are at the front. They do not move from those desks up there. They can point you and everything else. But there are staff members that go through the library that put up books that people left on the tables because they're jerks. They also have people that are constantly, moving stuff around and everything else. So you can find one of them to help you out. Sure.
What are we looking for?
The history of my family lineage.
History of the Iron Fists.
Yeah, and I just discovered that there's a secession issue. There could have been a secession issue with brothers. Look into that and see if there's any of that stuff going on that happened.
All right, well that's what we're looking for.
History of the Iron Fist.
All right. Do you go do something else?
No, I'll help him. I don't have anything else at the moment.
Okay. Okay, so you call somebody over. He says to her what he's looking for. She stands there for just a moment. We may have something like that. Follow me. She takes you 10 rows deep and over almost 15 columns over and such. You guys go up a spiral staircase as well. And then she takes you to another couple of rows over from that. She goes down this aisle. She pulls out a book. hands it to you, and says, and keeps walking, and then she kind of looks back and goes, "Come on, there's still other books."
Okay.
So you continue to follow. She, in total, gives you 5 books of various sizes that have something to do with the information you asked. I know I said jerks, leave them on the table, but she literally tells you, don't worry, just leave them on the table. We'll put them up. It's just easier that way than say, put the books back where you found them. They'll just put them up. So she gives you those, and she says, you're more than welcome to read the books at one of the mini tables here in the library. The only thing is you cannot leave the library with these books. If do, there could be a penalty as much as a year's worth in prison.
Okay.
So, do not leave the library with the books.
Check your messenger. Because after you said that, and it dawned on me what I was going to look for something at the library.
That's fine.
All right.
So you find a table, and you go over there. You kind of end up following her to ask her another question when he goes to find a table. Are you following Priqrin or are you following Thorn?
I also left the staff in the vault. I didn't bring the staff.
So you live at your house vault?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I am going to follow Thorn.
Okay. Basically, Thorn and Bertram end up at the table, and Priqrin's not around. You catch up to her, and what question do you want to ask her?
Excuse me. Do you have any information on Undermountain and like some of the tunnels and things that were created down there, and maybe some of the background for it?
She thinks for a moment. We may have a book or two, yes, of sorts that could possibly answer your questions you have. Follow me, and she takes you to almost the opposite end, and down the stairs, back to the first floor, and it's kind of a dark area. She pulls out side by side 2 books. One's fairly thick, the other one not so much. Hands them to you and says, just don't leave the library with this. Same thing she told Thorn that you heard, and says you can find a seat at one of the desks and read to your leisure.
I'm gonna walk back to them with the books.
Okay. As you're walking back to them, you kind of collide with somebody not paying attention. He kind of runs into you, knocking your books out of your hands, and the book he had also hitting the ground. He stops there for a moment and is just kind of like looking down at the books. He kind of sees the books you got, looking at his. He has a hood that he is wearing. It's not down. It almost looks like monkish in a way. It's up. You're kind of looking at the books too, kind of like the fuck. And when you finally look up over at him, you realize he's not really looking down at the books. He's glaring at you.
Uh-oh.
Like it's your fault you ran into him. You guys are meeting eye to eye. And you see his eyes kind of change in a way. They go from being normal pupilled to almost being slanted. feline type eyes. And you just see him kind of wince a little bit, like he's kind of pissed. And he shows a little bit of his teeth because he's clenching them down kind of hard. He goes,
Are you okay?
I don't like you very much. And you just hear a faint growl under his voice. And then somebody puts a hand on his shoulder. You just see him kind of like do this number and then stop, and his eyes just almost go back to being normal. And he goes, sorry about this. My friend's got kind of a temper. Don't mean any harm. He obviously wasn't watching where he was going. Kind of leans over, picks up all the books, hands you back the 2 books, hands him the book. I am so sorry about this. We apologize, please. He means no harm.
All right, cool.
Enjoy your day.
You too.
And he walks off. You get back to the table. They're kind of already busted into these books. He's kind of flipping through pages. Oh, this is interesting. Like, I imagine Bertram, like, at home, he doesn't have to be quiet. You don't have to be quiet in your own library. He's in the public one. Yes, he knows that he probably shouldn't be quiet. He should be kind of quiet and respectful for other people reading. You're a noble. You kind of don't really give a fuck. You're just like, hey, oh, fucking hilarious. You're just saying shit out loud. That's how I picture him. A little bit. They're just flipping through. But Thorn, you're kind of flipping through. She gave you a book of lineage. I imagine you probably told her probably tribe or possibly area, like town, city, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of the books she gave you. And it does date back. So in the very back is a bunch of blank pages. So it's almost like they're adding as it goes. But starting from the very back, working your way front, you'll find the very first declared king of whatever village, town, to the most recent one as you're flipping through. So you're kind of flipping through that, but you as you get within about 10 pages in, that's kind of when it dawns on you. Oh, flip to the back. And then you find the first page that has writing on it. And it mentions current king of your tribe, village, town, whatever you want to call it. And it does have your brother's name on it. It lists his father, and it lists his mother. He does not have a brother. Does not show a brother on there. Which is okay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't list a brother on there. You keep flipping back a few pages. You keep going. One, you're trying to find your father's name in the book, because you know that you know for a fact your family is split from this line of dwarfs, that it's there somewhere. You keep flipping through, you'll almost find your way back to exactly that same front pages that you stopped and flipped to the front, which is kind of weird. Like, you didn't see your father's name. So you start flipping again. I mean, you guys are just seeing it flip. I mean, you're just, that's not right. Yeah, I mean, you're just hearing them flipping these pages. You finally stop on a page. And you kind of flip it back and forth a couple of times. That is your uncle. Right there, written on that page. You're like, that is my uncle. And it lists his mother and father, which is your grandparents. It lists his offspring, But it's weird, it does not mention your father, which is supposed to be his brother. It mentions nothing about that. But you know that is your uncle. Those are your grandparents. Listen, you flip back, you're like, those are my, right there. You flip a page over, you see the king and queen previously. And it mentions 2 offsprings. But it only mentions your uncle's name. It does not mention your father's name.
Okay.
You, sir, start flipping through stories about the Undermountain and stuff like that. One of the books, which is a more thinner book, lists a couple of floors a little bit in detail. It only really goes to like the 3rd floor, and it only mentions really a port down there. That there used to be a port that ships would sail in. They'd use the lock system to get in there, and they'd deal trades and stuff like that. And it was meant to be a stronghold against invasion. If need be, they would go there to hold up because it was easier to establish and dig in from there versus anything else with a natural mountain around, pretty much around them, type of thing. But it doesn't really give you a whole lot. It gives you vague details about other floors which you've been to, and you're like, that's not right. You were there. That is not what that floor has or looks like. So in a way, you're almost wanting to bring out a little quill and almost correct the book itself. But you know better than that than to write in the books. Putting that one aside, the other one you bring up, it mentions almost in detail more of a Hollister, the original creator of what they call the Undermountain. And it kind of goes off saying that he had 12 disciples of mages that helped him build and summon and everything else in the Undermountain. It is said that several of those mages defected and tried to leave, only to be drugged back down to the Undermountain and magically locked in there. One particular mage, a female mage, is said to have had her body and her soul removed and separated from each other. Her body not aging, locked away, but her soul intertwined with the Undermountain itself. There's stories of adventurers saying that they've heard the voice of a female, but could not locate this female person. There's others that mention strange things going on, seeing a pair of eyes just floating in the sky, seeing what looked like moving or living creatures that resembled Hollister, but not really too many definitive answers. It almost brings up more answers than anything else in the book, but at the same time, a lot of it makes sense. Now, as you're flipping through and you're reading, a folded sheet of paper is stuck between the pages and is sitting there, like just up. It's weird. It's not made into the book. It's almost like somebody stuck it there and shut the book. You at first don't know what to make of it, but you kind of pull it. It has writing on it in Draconic. The words on there have your name written on it.
Oh my.
Full name and everything, and it's folded. The other one is the other little bit of wording and written on there underneath the name is, "Do not show to anybody else."
All right. Hey guys, look at this. Not going to show it to either one of them at the moment.
Okay. Otherwise, yeah, you get the sense of information and stuff. A lot of the books don't really go past.
I'm assuming I'm taking notes for all this since I can't take the book with me.
Oh yeah, yeah. As long as you got papers, ink, and stuff like that, you can definitely scribble down notes. But a lot of the books don't really go past the 5th floor. One of them mainly says that there is a guardian on the 5th floor who has a pet dragon. And most adventurers that go there seem to break the rules and find themselves dead.
There's not a pet dragon anymore.
So there's not much information on anything really past the 5th floor on any of these books.
Right in the note, she really likes roses.
Yeah, you do that.
Travelers can get through very easily if they bring her a rose.
Are you really going to write in this book? Or are you
No.
just going to write on a super and just,
Just write on a piece of paper in there and slide it in there. But the dragon's dead, and if you'd like safe travel through there, just give her a rose.
Okay. If that's what you want to do, sure. Yeah, you write on a separate paper.
Yep.
Slip it in there. Close the book. Thorn, you got your information. Yeah, you got a bunch of dirty jokes in Dwarvish.
Nice.
Is one of the books you're reading. I don't even think you speak Dwarvish, do you?
It's gibberish.
Yeah. What's funny is the fact that you're reading out loud, trying to pronounce these words, and you're distracting him a little bit as you're saying this. And he kind of looks at you and go, "That is highly offensive."
Why would you talk in that tongue?
I speak Elvish, and so I'm trying to pronounce Elvish and
Oh,
through Dwarvish.
so it's heathen speak, you say?
His tongue comes out more fluent and lifelike versus more rugged and harsh.
Sturdy. I prefer sturdy and durable.
Yeah.
Rather than fragile and lengthy.
So you guys spend quite a bit of time looking through the books and everything else. I'd say by the time you get back to the tavern, if that's where you're going to go, you probably spent most of the day, unless there's something else. I will say, one of the things that you mentioned on the last game, Bertram, was you did have a book that you wanted Priqrin to look at. You did forget to mention that when you guys were at his library, at your library, but you also couldn't find it. So I didn't know if you wanted to go back there.
No, we're good.
Or not right now.
Ignore that for. We can find it. Bertram doesn't think that.
Okay. That's fine. That's going to be very interesting later. All right. Okay, so you guys make it back to the tavern. I'd say by this time you see Bart wandering back. He's kind of in a sweat a little bit. I mean, not like a big sweat, but just like he's been wandering around working or something, doing something. It's a dirty sweat, a little bit of dirty brow, a little bit of sweat. You guys walk in together and you get a nice strong smell. Bart, the smell was not there when you left to go return the cart. But you guys get a smell of like burnt, like whole smell in a way.
Oh,
Like, it's a-
smells like.
It like fire, like
charcoal. Like somebody's grilling something.
right?
Or
Kind of like charcoal smell. Yeah. At the table,
I think it's another.
At the table, you see Bahst, Bernnice, and Mal. Bahst and Bernnice look like they are covered in like a black soot.
I think of now. Just
And Mal, she's covered in black soot too, but it looks like she drew, like she cleaned enough off just to draw and made herself look like a tiger or something. She put little tiger stripes on herself.
Oh, she didn't make it look like she had the skull face.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Well,
I was thinking.
that was probably one of her many faces that she did.
You see it caked on.
It's probably like faintly there, but she got stripes or whatnot in her face, and instead of becoming a cat or something, she goes, "Look, meow, I'm a cat."
Can't you turn into a real cat?
Yes. I don't want to.
Don't
judge.
But you guys definitely smell them, and
I do judge you.
they're sitting on the they're sitting at the table. They got food and drinks, and they're kind of just relaxing and eating and everything else.
They're already there when Bart gets back.
Yeah, they were not there when you left to return the part, but they are definitely there when you come back.
Prestidigitation, please.
Yeah.
So they see all my piles of
Not necessarily. Where did you
I
put
put them
it?
all in the first floor right
Oh, you just left them right? Yeah.
Just unloaded right there in the
Yep. If you left it right in the foyer, or not the foyer, but the
first
in the
floor.
dining area,
Yep.
they see all that. There's a big old pile of lumber and a door.
It's like you're gonna be busy.
Am I back yet?
Yeah, you came back with the bookworms.
Okay.
As the four of you walk in together. So Bertram, Bart, Thoron, and Priqrin all walked in together, and Bernnice, Bahst, and Mal were already in there. So
Did you have any beer left or ale left?
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
put in the cooler? I mean, the chest of gold.
Oh, I forgot we had that.
Hey, Mal,
Ale
Yeah.
isn't
do you
cold.
have
No,
any
ale's
yarn?
warm. Meant to be served warm.
I wanted a cold beer.
Preferably in the red color.
On Saturday night.
I read.
What are you looking for?
Yarn.
Yarn.
I need a lot of
Ah.
yarn, preferably in the red color.
I look in my bag, would not have yarn.
All I need tomorrow is the sheet metal. We can get that. We can get the.
I mean, you have feathers. I don't see why you wouldn't.
Okay.
What is that thing called?
I don't have.
Brewing station.
What's it?
just because you have a
Order
shitload of just random crafting shit and everything else, sure, yeah, sure.
It's not still because that's for alcohol.
Why not?
Right?
It's fine.
I want to see where this is going, so why
It'd
not?
be more like
I like, here you
I've
go.
seen
All right,
meat be
thank
made.
I
It'd be like that.
I got everything except for the
So it would be glass, wouldn't it?
metal wall. No, this is a like
A metal version, but like.
Oh no, we make ale in a vat.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's why it takes so long.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm assuming that when he went there, he went and got some nails. Right?
He's got all the supplies he needs.
Can I borrow some of your nails?
How many?
I don't know, probably.
I mean, you got a bushel.
Got a bushel of nails.
Bushel.
Yeah, I got plenty.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got at least about 3 pounds worth of nails.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
got
take
4
some.
quarts
Take
of nails.
the hammer
Or,
with the.
what's it called?
Hold on, you'll see. And I'm gonna go over to a wall and like clear off any pictures or anything like that. And I'm gonna take up the notes that I've taken about, and I'm going to tack them up on the wall and then take the yarn and string them to it. And I'm like, all right, guys, it's time I'm gonna explain all this shit to you.
When did we get a cork board?
Is this a victim's
What is
ward
this?
now?
Thorn's
Are
It's
you
a
trying
lineage?
to
red
find out
web. That's what it is.
Thorn's lineage? What is this?
Who killed
Oh,
Thorn?
No,
I'm just a figment of your imagination.
I've decided that I would do a little bit of research about Undermountain,
It's not your fault.
and I've gotten some of her information.
So, I think there was a
No,
succession
I've
issue.
just built a web of information that connects to this, connects to that.
Do it in the second floor library.
Second floor library?
Yeah.
Alright.
Sorry, no one else sees our notes.
So the previous king in my family is not in history and documented in history. I think it was a lineage or a succession issue. I might have to send a message to them, my brother, ask him about this.
Also, when you guys were out and about, did you
Maybe.
notice all the soldiers and whatnot?
Yep.
The war was over. Didn't
Well,
you
I
give the
mean-
gem to him?
I mean, it's not gonna get over in a day.
Yeah.
You know how long it takes for you to ride by a horse to the next area?
I mean, yeah, they gotta make.
You know how long it took us to get the freaking what's her face?
Which one? Red?
Yeah.
You mean the hollow shell of what was red? I've seen some shit, man.
We've all seen some shit.
Yeah. You've seen a gingerbread house, didn't you? How'd that go for you?
Wow, way to dredge up nightmares.
I know, me too. I was just like, that was a weird story you guys talked about. I still don't believe a house really tried eating you.
So a loud noise erupts from the front door as it opens up and 3 men come walking in.
3 dwarves?
No.
In a trench coat?
No. They're just three men. They're coming in. They seem slightly intoxicated.
We're closed.
Yeah, open.
Closed.
Oh, you guys fucking suck. Fuck it.
No, these are.
And one of them kicks over one of the chairs as they leave the door, or leave out the door.
Humans?
Yeah, they look like three guys who just came off the street, drunk, possibly kicked out of their last tavern they were at because they
They're
started.
gonna get their ass kicked out of this tavern too.
Well, they're already leaving. Well, they're starting to leave. One of them doesn't want to leave. He's like, I want fucking ale. The lights are on. This is a tavern, isn't it?
No.
Serve me some fucking ale.
No, I
You
got
got
this.
this? You got this?
I go pour some ale,
Oh, here we go.
and I fly over to him, and I drench him in the ale, and then I pick him up by his coat.
Just throw it.
Nat 20.
Yeah, I saw the triple. Like I saw.
Yeah. And I haul him out into the street, and I deposit him into the dirt.
This whole entire time, when you started pouring the ale, the other 2 guys were already trying to
Yeah.
pull their companion out. As soon as you grab him,
Camouflage.
they let go of him because they realize that there's a fucking dwarf not standing on anything, picking their buddy up just a couple inches off the ground, enough for him to not have footing on the ground, and is escorting him out. They basically put their hands up like, we don't want trouble. They literally go, we don't want trouble. Sorry, we usually come here to drink, and this is the first time we've seen lights on in days. We just thought we'd stop by and have ourselves a pint, but we apologize. We'll get our buddy home. And they go outside. You see him pick up the guy, and he's just like, joke's on them. I got a free ale.
Joke's on you, it's flammable. No.
I have alchemist fire.
So you just see him just like kind of just doing this, like whatever hair he had. He just kind of.
He's a drunk.
Oh, straight
He's-
alcohol.
He's almost wringing out his clothes a little bit or sucking on his sleeve. And they just walk off.
Now I can fly around for now.
Better enjoy it.
And they walk off for a bit. So,
You know what would be even funnier? If I was just walking behind you as a bear. Like, get out.
Do you talking, bro?
No. But they just gotta see the bear and
I mean-
they're terrified. They're
I mean,
not.
he's not wrong.
get out can sound like the same thing in no matter what language.
Yeah, if a bear goes, I'm getting out.
Was it called therapy?
The bear is on cocaine.
I might be getting out.
Oh no! For a solid 4 hours, that was
Just give her
apex predator.
just give her
All
pure
time.
caffeine. That's all you got to give her, and it's pretty much the same.
Oh, really? I got an espresso maker. Do you want to have an espresso?
So, this is pretty much this is the evening of your day, guys. You're kind of relaxed at home, eating, drinking, whatever. Maybe discussing information you've gathered. Bertram later on leaves and heads back home. Apparently curfew is still going, so you leave before curfew. so you can get home without anybody giving you shit, because you don't really want to deal with that shit right now. But you get back home, Bertram. When you get home, you notice that the staff members almost seem like they're in a panic. You stop one of them to find out what the hell's going on. And she looks at you and goes, "There was an incident with your sister.
Oh, never mind. Oh, thank God.
What'd you do?
She blew up her room.
You move the room?
She blew up her room. She's okay, but she appears to have blown up her room.
Make it to the toilet next time.
We're currently trying to patch up the wall. Sorry, I gotta go, sir. I am so sorry.
I run up.
You go upstairs. You see your mother figure standing there. She's got your sister at her side, and your sister's kind of just, her head's down a little bit. She has a book that she was reading. You saw her reading, clenched and held up underneath her arms. But her head is kind of down, as in a, I'm sorry, and your mother figure is just.
I look at the book.
Pissed. Mm-hmm.
Do I notice if the book is familiar to me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It
no.
looked familiar too when it was on her desk, but you rolled shitty to.
Yeah.
But you got a clearer look at it now.
I grab it out of her hand.
As you approach, though, your mother kind of stops and pretty much puts herself between you and your sister and says, "This is all your fault, isn't it? You did this, didn't you?"
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna need you to remove yourself, mother.
Remove myself.
From my sight.
I don't think so, child. This is my house.
I'm the heir. You're the step monster.
All of a sudden, a freaking chocolate comes out of
I'm
nowhere.
physically
As you physically, you remove her. She does slap you.
Flip flop.
I mean, it's going to happen.
Okay, so I mage hand her.
Okay. Where the hell did that come from? Was that your foot?
And I
you physically move her to the side, but she did slap you.
and I grab the book, but I embrace Jacqueline
Okay.
and say, why did you take this out of the library?
It wasn't locked. It wasn't like it was locked up. Okay. It was an interesting book. I never read it.
But
It
you did
looked
read
new.
it. And I flip through to see.
Yeah, you can't really read it, but she certainly did.
And so, like, is it some of the pages now blank because she
No.
read them, or you've
No.
been practicing? Which one? Show me.
She flips a few pages over, and it's this page. The words, though, to you don't make sense right now.
I put it in my everything, and where is Dingus McGingle info? Here are those. My mother figure. What is she doing?
She's standing there, still pissed. The fact that you moved her and then something slapped her. Well, actually, your mage hand isn't invisible, is
No,
it?
it is not invisible.
So this fucking hand just appeared and slapped her back, and she is just
Foam hands.
And I
pissed.
take Jacqueline and I say everything's gonna be fine. I direct the staff to get everything cleaned up. I'm gonna take her to the guest room and get her set up.
Yeah. As you're walking away, you hear your mother figure go, "Your father will hear about this, and I will make sure you are removed from this household."
The air.
Like you're the most arrogant prick in this house.
I am the heir to the Pyro's name. I don't care about Kimiko. She can maybe die in her sleep tonight.
She almost did because there's a hole in a wall that's connecting now your mother's room to your sister's room.
Maybe that girl just moved the bombs a little bit closer.
So
Now that
yeah.
she's known. I mean,
What's my alignment?
chaotic.
I don't know what your alignment is without checking again. But yeah. So the staff is working desperately to patch everything up. They're getting the spare materials and stuff from outside and patching the walls up for at least for tonight, and then they'll work on the rest of it in the morning.
The entire wall.
You really can't because you need the pieces to mend back.
I mean,
And a lot of shit is
It's blown up.
yeah.
I was gonna go with the theory of
So
the
when I
same
get Jacqueline to the guest room,
matter.
Uh-huh.
Just
I asked her
destroy
how
it.
long she's been.
All conservation.
Yes.
Practicing.
So I got a slight confession. I saw you take the book to the library, and when you left, I kind of went in there and grabbed it.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I've been kind of reading this book since you've been gone. That's what I was trying to show you the other day, what I could do. But you seemed like you were too occupied and you wanted to take a bath, and then you ran out this morning pretty quick.
So what else can you do?
I do a little bit of stuff. She holds out her hand. She goes, I can do this, and you just see this spark, and then a flame on her palm, and then she just kind of plays with it. And no matter how she moves her hand, it's always seems like it's in that one spot. But if she goes side to side, it moves with her. But if she rotates her hand or whatever, it just seems like it's always at the topmost part of her hand. And then she makes it go away. You can kind of do a little something like that.
What else?
Turn out the lights. You shut as soon as you shut the lights off, but it's still bright in the room, and you did it. Nothing. You look back, and she's holding an object in her hand, and it's lighting up the room.
Okay.
Just I can make objects glow.
We got ourselves a budding magician here.
That's Mao 2.0.
She's like, she goes, I can make objects glow. She goes, watch this. And it turns to blue. She goes, now it's blue. She touches it again and goes, now it's red.
So what happened?
She's using the light cantrip.
Oh, what happened in your room?
I don't think I was ready for that one. That, and you can tell, like as she's been talking to you, you can tell she looks tired. As if like somebody who's starting off is using a spell slot, but they're trying to cast a higher spell than what they have mana or whatever for. So it's kind of drained her. She goes, that wasn't supposed to do that. I think it backfired.
I think it front fired.
Well, it all overfired. Oh.
Was it a big explosion? Was there fire?
Well, it was multiple explosions. It started off kind of cool. I was making objects move around on their own, and then they started fighting with each other, and then they exploded. I'm not sure that's how it's supposed to work.
I don't think it was supposed to work that way.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It says something about animate objects. But it was cool.
Yeah. Well, I think that this is going to stay with me for a while. I don't think you need to. But we can maybe find a school for you to
What? I wasn't even done. I only got like a quarter of the way through the book.
That's enough.
There's so much. I mean, look at it. It's perfect. You know how much I like spiders. And it's got a nice spider on the front cover of it. It's black and cobweb looking. You know.
You need to go to school, and then maybe you can have that.
School. Why do I need to go to school?
So you don't blow up my house.
It's my house too. And it was my room. I didn't do anything to your room yet.
Yeah.
Besides, did you see the look on Mother's face?
I saw the look on Kim.
It was well worth it.
You know she's going to cry about.
Yes, but Father loves me.
Anyways.
I'll tell him it was an accident, because it was. It was an accident. He'll be fine. Maybe I can get him and get me another book.
Maybe I can find you a book.
Okay, fine. I really like that.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
And I leave her there.
Good night.
In the morning. Don't blow up anything.
Well, if I had my book, I won't blow up anything.
Thank you.
So
Yeah. And as I come out, what do I see?
you hear the staff seem like they finished up. No more hammering. They're carrying out the last bit of debris or whatnot out the door, cleaning up, and you just see the last look of your mother figure's face before you hear her bedroom door close.
I wish I had arcane lockers. Not yet. Maybe we should get busy.
Well, maybe your mother is actually a serpent and you don't know it yet.
I probably.
Anywho.
Alright, and then I go to bed.
Alright. The rest of you at the tavern, like I said, you spent you spent your evening drinking, having fun. Some of you pulled out something to probably play on just for shits.
And
We gotta hang that troll skull up here.
Oh, yes, let's do it.
I got a hammer and nails.
I'm gonna break the
Do
skull.
not use your
No,
maul.
we're gonna set it up. We're gonna build a thing.
Yeah, but don't use your maul to hammer in the nails.
Yeah, you set it over the mantle. There's no need for the shelf that says Psy because the bottle has been broken and there's no liquid left.
Is there like a stain running down the thing?
Stain on the floor.
Bless you.
I hate ghosts.
We've ran
Yeah,
across
the White House. That was a great ghost.
So the only thing that's left is the placard that says Psy, rest in peace, Psy.
We take that off.
No, you take it off. I'll beat you with it.
I started to take it off. Like this, and Mountain just gives me the. Alright, with the troll skull over it.
All right, you
Mouth open, mouth closed.
Yes.
with the
Animate
help
object.
of others, you're able to get everything up there and situated and cinched up. Seems pretty solid.
Looks great. Troll skull.
Troll skull. What are you gonna do with all these tapestries?
It's like that. It's like the magician's thing with the.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Tapestry.
You imagine how big you have a tapestry is?
I know how big.
Like the,
You know.
all the second floor and third floor are now just plastered in tapestries.
Not my favorite color, but I'll make do.
You know,
can
when
make
we
them out of
open
bed.
back
They can turn
up,
them
we
into
should
beds.
sell the
Hammocks.
tapestries. Put them on auction.
Oh yeah, sell them at auction.
our own auction.
Garage sale. That's what we're at.
Found on the first floor. Should give you about
Today's
20
episode of
gold.
Storage Wars. Bag of Holding Wars.
All right. So you guys kind of chuckled and laughed about that and everything else. You bed down for the night. Priqrin, you pull that paper out.
Yep.
You unfold it, and you begin to read. Starts off with, "Welcome to the pack. We noticed scent in the air the other day coming from you. We extend a hand to you to meet with us and officially begin your training. Meet us just on the outside of the now I forget what it's called. It's basically the grave area.
All right.
I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Is that here?
Yeah, the cemetery area. I forget what it's actually what it's fully called.
Reinforce the door.
It kind of has a little bit of a map drawn, and a little X on it.
It's the city.
That's what I thought it was, but I didn't want to say it because it sounded too cliche. Yeah, meet him in the City of the Dead. After curfew tomorrow, and it gives you the location. Come alone and bring a change of clothes. You may need it. Oh, and that's how it's read. It's signed, not by a name, but just an image. It's an image of what looks kind of like a those eyes that you saw, that one guy looking at you, almost like feline. It looks like a pair of those type of eyes and fur around it, and that's how it's just kind of like signed in a way.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's what it says. So. Doors creaking open. So that'll end that day.
Redemption.
That will end that day. If there's nothing else anybody else wants to do or say or discuss or prep for tomorrow.
Bertram will go to the library/study, and he's going to pen a letter to his father about how the situation in Co is. A long litany of lists of not paying attention to Jacqueline's development and blowing up, and just
Being a horrible mother.
So,
yes.
by the way, while you're sleeping,
Jeez, now
somebody
we're
comes into your
homestead.
room and just starts rambling to themselves, and you're just hearing a bunch of. Yeah.
I'm at my house.
Oh, this Bertram. Sorry, I thought you said Bart.
No, Bertram.
I heard Bart. Bart wants to write a letter. I'm like, okay, you're gonna wake him up while he's sleeping.
No, Bertram.
No, okay, Bertram go. Okay, yeah. Bertram goes there.
Incredible
Yeah,
design.
I still imagine that you're just mumbling to yourself.
Oh yeah, I am too.
You're out of here, bitch. I'm gonna get you one.
And
Alistair,
then
what
they
better
deliver
hide?
it to whoever the chief steward is there, whatever his name.
Of course you wouldn't. You with the tuxedo.
I thought I thought his name was Renard or something like that.
I think they was. I think you're right. That sounds right. I give it to him to deliver only to.
And he gives it to the younger.
No, he knows better.
He gives it to the younger guy who goes and does all the delivery stuff because he's not the guy.
No, I say same from my father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were trying to mail it. He was going to mail it.
No. When my father returns, give this to him and only him.
As you wish.
And the seal is mine.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so we are. I'm gonna say we're pretty much at a good stopping point because we did a lot of role playing and everything for the night, guys. You take the night, you rest, you sleep, you kind of clean up. Again, the town is still under watch, still under curfew, still under heavy guard and military running around. You can still hear soldiers occasionally march by your guys' windows, whoever's by windows. Still haven't heard any word back saying if they're going to need you. Yeah, until you haven't heard anything about them saying that they need you for any type of thing yet. But this is really only the second day you guys have been up here. Well, first full day that you've been up. Yeah. You still got tomorrow. You got to finish an axe. You have somebody to meet later on that day if you choose to go meet them.
I'm going to choose to go to meet him.
One of you still, I believe one of you said that you wanted to visit a place, their guild. Few of you have stuff to craft, work on. So you got a busy day or so, but I think we're going to pick that up on the next session. And we'll end it right there for right now. Like I said, it was a pretty good heavy RPG session. And next game will probably be the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it back to the camera. So thank you guys for watching. We definitely appreciate it. I'm honestly looking forward to the next game that we play and get your guys' downtimes out of the way. Yeah, anybody got anything they want to add or say, comments?
Text.
Yeah.
Next week we're not going to be here. We're going to a fish fry down in Oklahoma.
No, we're not. We got a one shot next week.
You're right. We do.
We got a one shot because some of us are going to Oklahoma.
Yes.
So we're got a one shot that we're going to put on, but it's not going to be aired. So I guess it's the same, but either way.
It's going to be air fried. It's going to be deep fried.
Yeah. So until next time, again, I am Drunk Monkey 42, but today I was Ryan the DM. We will catch you guys next stream. And if you're not already following, hit that follow button. We definitely appreciate it. And until next time, guys, peace.